Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another live stream. And welcome back to Ross has already made a couple of transfers. So we're going to get into that today. But as always, please do say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And kick back and relax on this Saturday morning, at least in the UK. I'm sure if you're in a different time zone, it is maybe not the morning. We've already got a super chat, so I'll just answer that nice and quickly. Thank you, Chinatins, for the super chat. On wildcard, Verbruggen Cash, Gabriel Timber, Enzo, Bruno Fernandes, Palmer, Rice, Rogers, Haaland, Thiago, Dubravka, DCL, Senesi, Alderete on the bench. Would you recommend any changes? Firstly, again, I really don't mind playing the wildcard this week. In terms of changes, is there anything that stands out as being horror? No, there's no picks there that I would say is a big no for me. Gabriel Timber Rice is probably the best 3 Arsenal you can have right now. DCL, I think, is a fine pick. I don't hate having Thiago. Defense looks okay. I probably wouldn't have Cash. I would have... I mean, you don't have a Chelsea defender, so maybe Chalobah I would have in that spot there. But Cash is fine. Like, Villa's fixtures are pretty good. It's just he doesn't get DEFCON. And I don't think he's going to keep scoring 0.02 XG goals. So that's one that I don't love. And then maybe, I suppose, you could make an argument to not have Palmer. Although I'd still be tempted to include him on a wildcard. Other than that, it looks really good to me. I certainly also think you could have Mane or Krupi in there and just take a bit of money out of the forward line. Will says, hello, friends. Start one between Wilson, Alderete, O'Reilly, and Krupi Jr. Start one, Wilson. 100%. Tuning in from Latvia. Howdy from Oz. Why have you still got Soboslai? Awful pick. He's a penalty taker on set pieces against Burnley at home. What sort of question is that? Of course, I'm not going to sell him before that fixture. Come on now. Let's not be crazy. But I agree, by the way. Who was that? I agree with your comments. Soboslai has been an awful pick. I agree. But I can't change the past points now. All I can say is that ahead of this fixture, I think he's a fine hold. I will not be starting him next week, probably. And I also probably won't be selling him, but the week after, I think there's a good chance I'll sell. Morning, Mr. and Mrs. Raptor. Mrs. Raptor, not quite Mrs. Raptor yet, but Mrs. Raptor is just woken up. Nice and on time today, you know. Nice to see my wonderful mum and nan in the chat. Morning, mum. Morning, nan. There aren't many people, I would say, that are doing a deadline stream at, a live stream at 9 a.m. on a Saturday, and their mum and nan are just already chilling in the chat. What legends. What a supportive family I have. I am far from a perfect human, but all of the positives I have come from having a wonderful family, which I'm very grateful for. Hello, Mr. Raptor. Hello. We are here. So, sorry, I should actually talk about some FPL. So, my team, I've already made 2 transfers. I cannot witness another corner not owning Gabriel. I can't begin to tell you what it is like watching an Arsenal corner when you don't have him. I was watching the FA Cup. No, it wasn't. The EFL Cup against Chelsea. And I was getting anxiety. It wasn't going to affect me. Even if Gabriel scored 2 headers, it didn't affect me. But every time the ball was whipped in by Rice or Saka, I just winced a little bit. I can't do it. It's absolutely terrifying. So I had to buy Gabriel. And then it comes to, how did I fund that? I was very tempted to wait to see if we got news today on Foden or Ekitike. Because let's say we get news that one of Foden or Ekitike were to be benched, which I don't think will happen, but you never know. Then, of course, I could have just sold them. But I thought about it. If Foden is benched, I think I'd want to keep him for Wolves still. Because a lot of people would sell him. You okay? Just had a loud crash. I think she's okay. I think she dropped the remote. Yeah, loads of people would sell him, so he's even more of a differential for Wolves. If Ekitike's benched, that's a bit of a nightmare, but I think that's less likely. And Garner and Gabriel were both going up in price last night. So what I did was Dorgu to Gabriel and Cunha to Garner. Now, I think the obvious point when you look at my team is, dear Lord Ross, that is a terrifyingly bad midfield. I've got Enzo, Lafitte, Garner, and Soboslai, and my 2 expensive ones are Foden and Saka. I do have 2 free transfers next week. I do plan on bringing in 24, when I have 3 free transfers, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo Fernandez, And then maybe I could even look to go for a Declan Rice or a Tavernier as well. But I will improve the midfield over the coming game weeks. And I suppose it's important to say as well, I know Enzo Lafitte's not a great pick, but Crystal Palace at home that have just lost Gay, then West Ham away, Burnley at home. And then Ghana, it's Villa away, Leeds at home, Brighton away, Fulham away, Bournemouth at home. Like, they both have good fixtures over the next few. So in the meantime, whilst I'm accumulating transfers and making the decision about where I want to go with my team, they're not bad. Foden's got good fixtures over the next two. Saka, I really hope isn't benched this week, but has a really nice run of fixtures. And Szoboszlai, like I say, I'll sell very soon anyway. So it's not a great situation to be in, but I think I'm okay with it for now. So that's why I made the moves I made, and hopefully that makes sense. The key decision for me is which player to start from Enzo Lafitte, Anderson, Garner, Rodon, and what order to have them on the bench. You know? I can even run a poll. Let me run a poll. Good morning, Raptor. Good morning, Aaron. I don't hate the midfield for talent. It's more the minutes risks. What, on Foden and Saka? Because like Lafitte, obviously, like Garner are pretty nailed on, right? It's just Saka and Foden. Although Foden's minutes haven't been bad. He had one early sub, right? Was it two early subs? No, one early sub. Other than that, it's been all 90s, so... who would you start? I think the thing I'm most tempted to do is switch Garner and Anderson. No, you know what? I'm going to start Lafitte. So who would you have first sub? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that as a poll. Sorry. All over the place. By the way, loads of people already here. Thank you very much. Could you please like the stream if you're watching now? I'd really appreciate that. Goes a long way, you know. Who would you have first sub? Basically, who is the best option here? Yeah, let me know. I've just put a poll. I want to start Enzo Lafitte. I'm a sucker for Enzo Lafitte. I can't help it. He's very lowly owned. Leave me to my devices. Is that the word? Devices? But who would you have first sub? Anderson, Garner, Rodon. Because I have a feeling I might end up needing my first sub. So, buy Rogers, Enzo, or Bruno G on wildcard. Thanks. If it's only one, Enzo, then Rogers, then Bruno G for me. Start Rogers, Wilson, or Bowen. At the moment, benched Wilson. I would bench Bowen, personally, just because West Ham are terrible. Although, if Paquetá's not there, Bowen might be on pens, so I'd still probably bench Bowen. Rodon, Anderson, Garner, if it was me. Rodon first sub. Interesting. I probably would say that Rodon's got a greater chance for a clean sheet. It's just a DEFCON, isn't it? And like I could definitely see that being like a 1-1, 2-1 kind of game. And in which case Anderson obviously is still a fine option. Don't Sunderland have the 19th worst XG in the league? Sunderland, the 19th worst XG in the league. Don't know. Doesn't sound right, but it could be. I've got them as having the 17th. Which isn't great, to be fair. The thing is with Sunderland, though, if you switch it to home only, their XG is like mid-table. Like even if you go, let's go per appearance at home, like 1.3, and then away from home, it's 1.7. So they are better at home, Sunderland. Semenyo or Thiago? Well, to start, I'd probably start Semenyo, to be honest. Start Cunha or Bowen this week? I'd maybe lean Jared Bowen. Like I said, could be on pens. Do you think Gallagher will be an option for Tottenham if he's a regular starter? Yeah, because I think he'll be a good DEFCON guy. Might take some set pieces. Obviously can get attacking returns as well. I do certainly think for his price, like 5.5 million is good for Gallagher. We do have bad XG, but we've been like that for 18 months. Even in the Championship wasn't great. We're just efficient. Yeah, and obviously you've got an absolutely fantastic goalkeeper as well, Roos. So like when you've got a good goalkeeper and you play in such a way that you will concede chances. Like I do think teams like that often do overperform their XG slightly. I think we've seen a lot of that in the past with Everton, having Pickford in goal, and they do concede a lot of shots, but they're class. Apologies, didn't have time to mute my mic there. Omcar says, hi Ross, 3 free transfers, 0.7 in the 1 second. I need to cough with the mic. Sorry about that. Something I realized when always when I've had the summer off from streaming and I come back, how difficult it is to just speak for like over 2 hours straight. Apparently, I'm struggling with that already today. All right, 3 free transfers, 0.7 in the bank. Okay, I've got your team, Omcar. What's the question? I was planning Cunha to Enzo Fernandez. Now Bruno G to Fernandez in 24. Very confused. I mean, firstly, really nice team, Omcar. Secondly, I think your plan's spot on. I would also say that you might actually want to do Foden to Bruno Fernandes in 24. And then you could even do something like Bruno G to Tavernier, which might free up some funds for you to go and get maybe Daniel Munoz. So I agree. Cunha to Enzo Fernandez now, and then either Bruno G or Foden to Bruno Fernandes in 24. I think it's a nice plan. I wouldn't be confused, Omcar. I would stick with your gut feeling there. Would you do Gordon to Rice? Wolves aren't easy now. No. You got a penalty taker still against one of the worst teams in the league. Even if there've been an uptick in their recent defensive data, they're still not a great team. So I would be happy to. Ross, for some insight, West Ham are the worst team from set pieces defensively on 43 conceded. Leeds are on 37 conceded, so not that far behind. Yeah, I am a little worried about benching Anderson, which is why I'm very happy to have him, I think, first sub as of right now. I do think I've got the bench order spot on, so that's a bit of confirmation-wise. Tavernier, 1 penalty all year. Is it because he's review pick? The thing is, right, you don't pick a penalty taker because the team gets lots of penalties, because penalties are so unpredictable. You wouldn't look normally at Brentford and go, oh, Brentford are the type of team that will get loads of pens. But there was a period where Thiago had like 3 pens in a row. So I don't really care how many pens Bournemouth have had. Tavernier is a penalty taker. All right, so you pick players because they're on pens. On top of that, Tavernier takes set pieces and is decent for DEFCON and plays in a team where not many other players are massive bonus points monsters either. They don't often keep many clean sheets, which means the defenders don't take bonus points. I don't know. I just look at the situation for 5.5 million. I think Tavernier is brilliant. And I can promise you I do not use FPL Review. Look at my team. Dear Lord. If you plugged my team into FPL Review, I'd have a fit. So no, by the way, I'm sure he is loved by models. The reason that models would love someone like Tavernier, if you don't know the way models work, they're all about like expected points or EV, expected value. Look at all of the routes Tavernier does have to points. Great fixtures. So clean sheet point is possible. You've got the set pieces, you've got the penalties, you've got the, again, DEFCON potential. He's got decent open play data. He's always going to be a player that a model would like, someone like Tavernier. In comparison, Harry Wilson probably won't be as liked by the models because he doesn't take as many set pieces, doesn't take penalties, doesn't have DEFCON potential. The fixtures aren't as good. I'm not saying that Wilson's a worse pick, but I can predict what a model will and will not like based on the type of player. And that's absolutely fine if you don't agree with that, by the way. Like, Wilson is arguably, over the next few at least, a slightly better pick than Tavernier, but there are always going to be different preferences based on what system of decision-making you follow, basically. On Wildcard 24, is Cunha to Xavi/Tel for a punt worth it? Not for me. I mean, the fixtures are great. Xavi maybe slightly more, but I don't think I would be there, Ross, sadly. If I was on wildcard, like if you told me now before I made my transfers, I'm going to wildcard in 24, I would have rolled to 5 free transfers. The whole point of usually taking punts before a wildcard, I think we need to get out of the old way of playing. So the reason you used to take punts before a wildcard is because you couldn't carry transfers through the wildcard, right? So if you didn't play previously, when you wildcarded, it used to wipe out your transfers and you'd start back at 1 free transfer. The fact that you can now carry transfers through the wildcard, I don't see the same value of taking a punt. And I know you say you've got Cunha, so you're thinking I've got to sell Cunha anyway. But I'd almost be tempted to keep Cunha, play him against City, then play a back four and bench him against Arsenal, and then have a really strong team plus the free transfers to navigate after that. So I'm not saying you can't take a punt, by the way. I'm just saying I would just be careful with the way that we view things now. It's like the game has changed in that sense. Hi, Ross. Bench one, each of O'Reilly/Rodon and Miley Bowen. I would start Rodon and Bowen if it was me personally. Miley, by the way, has been pretty good for DEFCON, so you're probably looking at a 4 or 5 pointer there, but yeah. Raptor is the Mbermo of FPL. What, a big bald head? I'll take it. Mbermo's great in FPL. Hi, Ross. Top man. I hope you are well. I'm well, thank you. Bench one of O'Reilly, Anderson, and Van der Ven. Bench one. I'd bench O'Reilly. Also, would you start Cunha or Jimenez? All that stuff. I have to say Jimenez. Pens, forward, slightly better fixture. Yeah, I would bench O'Reilly and bench Cunha there. Wildcard last game week. Who should I replace Richarlison with? 7.2 million. Would you go either Kolo Muani or Solanke or just go for João Pedro? I don't want Thiago. I would probably go Calvert-Lewin or Krupi Jr. If you have to pick one of them, it probably is João Pedro, but I would go Krupi or Calvert-Lewin. Is Sarr worth it on wildcard with a potential double? No, because the double would be against Arsenal and... Damn. Who's the other fixture? I've forgotten now. Forest away and Arsenal... Was it away or home? Arsenal at home and Forest away for Sarr. I'm not that convinced, no. I would just pick a better goalkeeper from a better team. Hi, Ross. Hope that you are well. I'm well, thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. Who would you bench between these two players, O'Reilly and Rodon? I would start Rodon. Rodon at home's great. I know I've got Rodon third. So I mean, borderline. If Dubravka had a better fixture here, you'd bench boost this, right? Like, if Dubravka had... Even if it was something like Forest at home or, like something like that, I would be looking at this and thinking you could absolutely bench boost this team. So, yeah, I would not mind starting Rodon this week. The only reason I'm not is my team is, I wouldn't say stacked as such, but a lot of my players have good fixtures this week in terms of the cheaper assets, so it just makes it difficult. This is the other thing, when you have Gabriel and Timber, then as assuming you're playing a back three, you don't have the ability to start a lot of your other defenders, of course. Mr. Dashmate, good to see my friend. Thank you for the very generous super chat. You're far too kind. Didn't mean to scroll there. Oh, my mouse is so sensitive. Crazy idea. Okay, I've got your team. 0.1 million. I want to use all 3 transfers, and I refuse to use City players. I want to transfer in a captain. Okay. Dashmate. Listen, I'm one of the biggest Man United fans of all. You cannot bench Haaland, Foden and Shirky. That's crazy. Do you know what? Actually, you can. Imagine Man United win this 1 or 2-0 and you've benched Haaland, Foden, Shirky. That is generational. I will just say that if I'm doing my job as a content creator, I cannot recommend that you bench, regardless of how much you love Man United, Haaland, Foden, Shirky. You want to transfer in a captain. Wiseka TK is the best captain. Or, you know what? You've got Watkins cap already. I don't mind that. So your team's Timber, Heaven. You're starting Heaven, man. I do think there's a little bit too much bias here. Timber, Heaven, James, Richards, De Kuiper, Wilson, Enzo, Saka, Watkins, DCL. I mean, all things considered, that's not actually a bad team. I would probably say Wilson or Watkins are your best captaincy shouts there. You want to transfer in a captain. And you want to use all 3 transfers. I don't see where you use the transfers, really. I can't get behind using all your transfers. Unless you sell Foden or Shirky. Like, if you sell Foden, you could sell Foden to Rodgers or Foden to... You've got Enzo and Wilson already. I wouldn't make a transfer. Right, there you go. That's my final advice, Dashmate. I wouldn't make a transfer. I'd captain Watkins or Wilson. And if you want to bench your 3 City players, I respect the decision. Crazy, crazy work from Dashmate. I met Dashmate in real life, actually. That was fun. I just met this really nice guy, and he was like, it's me, it's Dashmate from your streams. I was like, what a legend. Cunha Anderson stacked Dubravka worth a bench boost. Again, I can get behind it. There are rumours circulating that Stack might not be in the squad. I saw a couple of people say they saw it on a forum. I wouldn't buy into that too much, but also Cunha against City, Dubravka against Liverpool. I don't think that's a bench boost, no. Hi. Oh, missed that. Hi Ross, would you do Watkins and Cunha to Ekatike and Enzo? Hope the uni course is going well. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, Dan. It's going okay. I'm making okay progress at the moment, which is good. Would I do Watkins and Cunha to Ekatike and Enzo? I would not sell Watkins for Ekatike in a million years, no. But Cunha to Enzo's nice. I would keep Watkins and do Cunha to Enzo. I have Gordon. Any good replacements or keep? I would keep for this week and then sell next week. Start one, Van Hecke, Anderson, or Rodon. Probably Anderson. Wildcard on by Tavernier, Shirky, or Semenyo, and why? I think Tavernier is the best long-term option. He's the cheapest. He's on pens, on set pieces, good defcon. We've been through Tavernier already, but I would go Tavernier. Hi Ross, good day. Good day, Khan. Issues, Vandenberg, Dorgu, Igor Jesus, Cunha. Only one free transfer. Should I take hits by letting go of Cunha Frenzo to get a better third forward? No. I actually think Jesus probably not an issue this week if you can bench him. Cunha, I think you can start. Like when you've got Vandenberg, Dorgu, and Jesus, I do think Cunha's definitely the least of an issue there. I could absolutely see Cunha doing something this week against Man City. So I would keep Cunha. I think you probably need to focus on that defence. Best follow. I think Dorgu. Honestly, Dorgu to Mukiele for the next 3 weeks. Kind of, I like that. I think Dorgu to Mukiele or Alderete. I would buy a Sunderland defender for Dorgu. It sounds a bit like a waste, but I just think that's a huge upgrade for the next 3 weeks. Then I would probably leave it there. I don't think I'd be taking hits. I'd start Cunha. If you're having to start one of Cunha or Igor Jesus, you could certainly take a hit to then sell. No, I wouldn't. I think I'll just make the Dorgu move, Khan. Hopefully that helps. I obviously can't see the rest of your team, but yeah, that's probably what I'd do. Hi, pal. Got one free transfer. Shall I roll or sell Cunha? I can't see the rest of your team, but I think if you've got the ability to sell Cunha this week, I don't think he's a bad sell. But I also would probably... okay. I would probably sell him if you have the ability to do so, but I don't mind keeping him. That's my opinion on him. My sweet 4'9" camel. Bench 1, Krupi, Cherky, Foden. Bench 1. I think it's still Krupi this week. It's not... Krupi. Unless we get a leak that obviously... There is a chance that we get leaks on Man City, by the way. And if we get a leak that Cherky or Foden are bench, then makes it easier for you. Hi, Ross. My team is Kelleher, Gabriel, Hall, Chalobah, Saka, Foden, Cunha, Bruno G. Wilson, great midfield... Haaland, Ekatike, bench of Dubravka, Anderson, Guiu, Rodon. 2 free transfers, 0.5 in the bank. Currently thinking Cunha to Rice and roll. 1 free transfer. Thoughts, suggestions? Yeah, easy peasy. Like you don't have 3 Arsenal, but you've already got Gabriel. So I think buying Rice in your situation is so easy. Like I haven't been suggesting Rice as a replacement for Cunha for a lot of people, but it's mainly just because like most people already have their 3 Arsenal in place. But if you don't have 3 Arsenal in place and you've already got Gabriel, because I could have done, Cunha to Rice, but then it would have blocked me from getting Gabriel this week. So that was obviously why I didn't. I need to stop scrolling back. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, only less than 200 likes, and there are 1,500 people here. So if you've not liked the stream yet, please like, and also do me a massive favour and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Dashmate says, I'll check back in with you when it works out amazingly. Love that you remembered our meetup. I honestly was so excited. I was like, this guy's really nice. And he was like, I'm Dashmate. I was like, no bloody way. That's class. Outside of the SDS live show, right? Yeah, that was class. Carrick's at the wheel, clean as sheet. He's magic, you know. Do you know what? I will take a Cunha Hall and a Man United win. I need some Man United dopamine in my life. I don't care what it takes. Blank Foden and Haaland, just give me the win. Although, I do really dislike Arsenal. I arguably dislike Arsenal more than Man City because of where I grew up. I grew up in London, so all of my best mates, I would say, like my friendship group from school, out of 5 of them, 4 of them are Arsenal fans. So I struggle to say I'd rather City win the league, but I really don't want Arsenal to win the league. So um, yeah. Either way, let's hope for a Man United win. That would be nice. Like, Man United have the opportunity to go and get top 4 this year because everyone else is stinking it up. We need to take this opportunity. And sadly, we've dropped points to Wolves. We've dropped points to Burnley. It's just a state. It's a state. Would you do Timber, Bar, Cunha to Gabriel, Tavernier, Enzo for free? Yes. Yeah, I would. I don't like selling Timber, but that's such an easy 3 transfers, Martin. No offence, Arsenal fans, of course. I'm sure most Arsenal fans hate Man United as well. Do you think O'Reilly's a sure sell now? I think he's an easy sell. Yeah, I also don't mind keeping him. Like, I know Ait Nuri can play. Nunez has been better. They've signed Gay, but you still expect O'Reilly to be first choice left back for now. But yeah, I would say if you've got the ability to, just get rid. Jim, went Cunha and Anderson out for Tavernier and Rogers. Easy peasy. Armband on Ekatike. We'll do a captaincy poll in a second. I really don't mind Ekatike cap. 1.3 million to chasing rank. Next week, looking at Enzo for Foden. Enzo for Foden next week. I assume you mean 24. Surely you're not selling Foden before Wolves at home unless you don't think he starts that. And Enzo next week's got Crystal Palace away. So yeah, I think 24 Enzo for Foden. But yeah, very nice, my friend. And I hope Ekatike cap goes well for people that go for it. You know, I'd be very happy to have an Ekatike Hall on my team. Hi, Ross. Hope you and your family are well. Thank you, Boris. That's very sweet of you. I've got your wild card. You want me to rate it. And you also have 2 million in the bank for Fernandes. I love that. Thinking about the future. I appreciate someone that does a bit of forward planning. Defense is brilliant. Sensational defense. Like it. Rogers, Rice, Palmer, Enzo, Bruno, G, Haaland, DCL, Krupi. Wow. Really nice team. I mean, the only 2 players that you're missing, but the midfield is quite stacked right now. I would say I like Wilson and I like Tavernier. And neither of those are in your team. And they're both very good prices. But your midfield is Rogers, Rice, Palmer, Enzo, and Bruno G. So, yeah. I mean, there's no criticism from me there. I really like it, Boris. I would rate that wild card like a 9.2 out of 10. Something like that. It's basically very similar to what I would go for. Shaunak, good to see you as always, my friend. I hope you are doing well. I can't really see your profile picture in large, but wherever you are in the world in your profile picture, it looks very, very stunning. Hello, Ross. 3 free transfers, 0.2 million in the bank. Cool. Got your team. Transfers, question mark. Wildcard, question mark. Okay, so your bench is honking a little bit right now. Minter, Heaven, O'Reilly. The team, though. Timber, Senesi, Alderete. Don't mind that. Cunha, Gordon, Rice, Semenyo, Haaland, Thiago, Ekatike. Sorry, no to the wild card. You don't need a wild card. Especially because you've got the likes of Ekatike and Gordon this week who are on their final good fixture. And also you've got some good long-term owns in there like Senesi, Rice. So I don't think you want the wild card. Transfers. I would be very tempted in your position to do Cunha to... What could you afford Cunha to Enzo, which would free up 1.5 million? That's not going to be enough, is it? So Cunha down to one of Enzo, Wilson or Tavernier, and then O'Reilly up to Gabriel. That would be what I would do with your team. So Cunha down, O'Reilly up. It gives you Gabriel and a better midfielder, and I would leave it there with those 2 transfers. Yeah, I think that would be really nice. Shorty says, can you rate... Okay, I've got your team. Ekatike will be sold after Burnley. Can I rate your team? I would give it an 8.5. What? There's no major issues there. Kelleher's fine. Chow, Gab, Timber's good. Saka, Foden, Anderson, Enzo, Wilson. Enzo and Wilson are great. I still have no issue with Saka and Foden if they start. Haaland, Ekatike is good. I mean, the only weak point is arguably Anderson, but he'll get you 4 points. So, yeah, I quite like that, Shorty. No concerns there. Hi, Ross. 2 free transfers. Considering Minte to Tavernier/Wilson. Easy peasy. And Cunha to Enzo/Rogers. What do you think? Side note, very excited to have held Semenyo. Yeah, Semenyo actually looks like a good hold now. 2 free transfers, considering Minte to Tavernier/Wilson. So I would probably go Enzo Fernandez. And then it depends what you want. If you want a steady Eddie, great minutes, multiple routes to points, good long-term option, go Tavernier. But the high upside short-term option in great form is Wilson. So I would go Enzo and Tavernier if it was me. But I like Wilson as well, Josh. Can you read my non-super chat comment, please? Too long. Winter. Okay. Good morning, Ross. I'm a United fan, but I'm probably starting Haaland, Foden, Shirky, Semenyo. Will they all start? Probably not, unless you think Doku doesn't start, in which case they could. I would say probably as of right now, it is honestly Shirky that is the least likely to start out of those options. My bench is Voltemada, Anderson, and Richards. I have 3 free transfers. I mean, let's see if we get early team news, Winter, but I would say that Shirky is the least likely to start. But I don't know. Like, it's very difficult to try and predict Pep. AKU says, Eggman, it's been a minute. Keep up the great work and content. PS, good luck with uni. Thank you very much, AKU. Thank you for being a member, a Raptor X member for 15 months. What a legend. Appreciate your support. Sakuru says, wild card. My team is Verbruggen, Kelleher, Timber Cash, Gabriel, Chalobah, Alderete, Verts, Rice, Rogers, Wilson. Do you know what? I like the Verts pick. Enzo, DCL, Haaland, Thiago. I'm new to FPL. Is this good? Oh, it's great, yeah. I mean, could I criticize anything there? No. Honestly, mate, considering you're new to FPL, to build a wild card that strong, good long-term, great structure, great midfield. I really do like the Florian Wirtz pick. I can't criticize much about that team. There's nothing that stands out to me. Tally Beaver says, does Ait-Nouri come straight back into the spot this week or minutes off the bench this week and starts next week? You just don't know with Pep. My gut instinct tells me that this game suits O'Reilly more, but it could be Ryan Ait-Nouri. Absolutely could. I really have no idea. You see Cunha to Bruno as a no-brainer. 1 free transfer, exact money. Cunha to Bruno with exact money, I quite like, yeah. It's a move you're going to want to make anyway. The only thing I would say, for anyone that owns Phil Foden, I think Foden to Bruno in 24 is great. So if you've got, like, I would probably, if it was me, do Cunha to Enzo, Cunha to Wilson, and then go and buy Bruno after the Arsenal game in 24. That's my current plan. But I equally think if you can just do Cunha to Bruno, it's also a good move. Only one Max that says team. Pickford, Gabriel, Anderson, Tarkovsky, Timber, Saka, Wilson, Bruno G, Grealish, Sharda, Haaland. Bench of Marnie, Guiu, Esteve. 1 free transfer, 4.4 in the bank. Would you roll? Pickford, Gabriel, Anderson, Tarkovsky, Timber. Great back 4. Saka, Wilson, Bruno G, Grealish, Sharda, Haaland. Would I roll? I'd be tempted to sell one of Sharda or Grealish, because I don't think either of them are fantastic assets. But I equally think you could roll, yeah. I think you either roll or do Grealish or Sharda to Enzo Fernandez, Morgan Rogers, someone like that. In fact, you could even, I suppose, do Sharda to Bruno Fernandes and still have money in the bank. So yeah, I think you could roll only one max there, but I don't love Grealish and Sharda as longer-term assets. I also have 3.8 million in the bank for moves later on. With that team, you've got 3.8 million in the bank. That's crazy, Sakura. Okay, it's an even better wildcard team than with 3.8 in the bank. Jesus. Felipe. I still forget which variant's Felipe or Felipe, but I did not see that super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. That's very generous. 3 free transfers this week. Okay, let's sort you out. Would you do Rogers, Virgil, Ekatike, Xhaka? The answer is already absolutely not. I would not settle. Rogers, Virgil, Ekatike, Xhaka, I would argue is as good as Enzo, Gabriel, Rice, and Thiago. For a -4, or hold and do it next week for free. I would absolutely hold. You're selling Rogers, who I actually think is a class asset, so I don't think I'd sell Rogers anyway. And also Virgil and Ekatike, who have Burnley. That's a no for me, personally. I arguably wouldn't even do that set of moves next week, but I certainly think it will be better next week. My team is Donnarumma, Virgil, Chow, Van der Ven, Foden, Saka, Xhaka, Wilson, Rogers, Haaland, Ekatike, Jimenez. That's a great team. Yeah, don't make the moves this week for me, personally. Got 4 City because of Semenyo. What happens if I roll the transfers? So what happens if you've got 4 or 5 Man City players, because obviously Gay as well, is you'll be able to start and keep your City players until you want to make a transfer. And at the point that you want to make a transfer, it will force you to sell City players till you get down to 3. So basically, if you decided to roll for the rest of the season, you could just keep 4 City or 5 City. Lewis, good to see you, says, "Hi Ross, please rate my team and which goalkeeper would you play?" Firstly, thank you very much for the generous super chat. Okay, Roofs, Cash, Gabriel, Chalobah, Chow, great defence. Rogers, Cherky, Bruno G, Rice, Wirtz, great midfield. Haaland, nice. Verbruggen, Thiago, Tarkowski, Barnes. So what goalkeeper would I start? Verbruggen or Roofs is difficult. I'd probably go Roofs. I think without... Crystal Palace aren't in a great moment right now. Sunderland are better at home. Roofs makes a lot of saves. I would go Roofs. Rate your team. I'd say like a 8.5 out of 10. The only player that worries me slightly, of course, is Cherky. But if we were to get a leak that Cherky was benched, then you just start Thiago or Tarkowski. It's a very strong bench, in all fairness. I mean, it is borderline a bench boostable bench. So, yeah, it's a really nice team. I think you should hopefully get a green arrow of that team. I actually quite like having Wirtz this week for people that have him. I think he could do well. JM says, "Morning, bud. Morning, Jay. Which 3 to start from Mukiele, Garner, Cunha, O'Reilly?" I would probably bench O'Reilly there, personally. I'm also starting Foden and Haaland. Could Cunha get lucky? Risk it for a final week. Yeah, I think Mukiele and Garner are great for DEFCON. Mukiele could keep a clean sheet, and I think Cunha is better than O'Reilly. So I would start the first 3 and bench O'Reilly, Jay. Hi, Ross. I have Hincapié, Dorgu, Vandenberg, Minte, Cunha, Igor Jesus, and no Gabriel, Timber, Rice, Saka, and no Chelsea players. Would you wildcard? Yes. Yeah, that's a wild card. Like, it's all well and good keeping the wild card, but if you're bleeding right now, Gabriel, Timber, Rice, Saka, and no Chelsea, and also all of those other issues. It's not just about not having the good players. You've also got pretty rough players there. I would say that's an easy wild card. Yeah, I would say so. And you've still got an hour and 20 minutes to sort it, so it's not too late. Got a blocked nose. Am I getting ill again? Would you bench Foden and Thiago? Oh, who would you bench between Foden and Thiago? I'd bench Thiago and start Foden, unless, again, we do get a leak of some kind. Age of Autumn, thank you for the generous super chat. Team is... Okay, I've got your team. Did Cunha, O'Reilly to Enzo, Gabriel? By the way, what an easy set of moves that is, my friend. Cunha and O'Reilly to Enzo and Gabriel. Yeah, great transfers. Any other moves? Tempted Foden to Wirtz. I think your team looks fantastic now. So I would absolutely say no. Don't need to make any other moves. I would not do Foden to Wirtz unless, again, we get a leak that Foden's on the bench. And then I would make the move. Yeah, but for now, I don't think you have to touch that team. That's really nice. Start Lafille or Thiago? I'm a big Enzo Lafille fanboy, but I would still start Thiago there, I think. Want to sell Cunha this week, but if I do, I'd need to bench one of Thiago and Alderete. So should I roll? Right now on Ekatike captain, but reconsidering as I'm 78k. Great rank, Mark. Ignore your rank. Captain the player you think will score the most points. If it's Ekatike, captain him. Want to sell Cunha this week, but do I need to bench one of Thiago and Alderete? So should I roll? Yeah, I mean, if you've got a team where you can just start Thiago and Alderete instead, you could. Or the thing I would say on Cunha is you're going to want to sell Cunha next week if you don't do it this week. So if there's a player you desperately want to go out and get, Enzo Fernandez, Harry Wilson, Morgan Rogers, just go and do it, I think. Because I don't think that Thiago's that great. Alderete I actually do really like for this week, though. That's a tough one. It depends on the rest of your team. Depends on how many free transfers, money in the bank, who you want to go buy, etc., etc. But yeah. I own Rice, Saka, And defensive Anderson, Tarkovsky, Lacroix, Van Hecker, Estev. Okay. 2 million in the bank and 1 free transfer. Should I take a -4 hit for Gabriel? And if yes, who to sell? No. I would do it for free either in 23 or 24. And I think eventually you probably actually sell... Out of those options, I genuinely think you might sell Tarkovsky there because the fixtures start to turn and he's the most expensive. So I wouldn't take a -4 hit for Gabriel this week, but I would prioritise getting him in soon. Words. Feist69, nice name. Pope, Chow, Gabriel, Mukiele, great defence. Rice, Saka, Cunha, Cherky, Foden, great midfield. Haaland, Ekitike, lovely stuff. I say great midfield, probably the weakest part of the team though, right? Cunha and Cherky, not great. I've already done Dorgu for Mukiele. Anything else I should do? I think you could sell Cunha, unless you fancy keeping him for this week. But I think Cunha to Enzo, Rogers, Wilson, Tavernier, probably my top 4 options. Or, no, you've got Rice already. So, yeah, those options. Anything else I should do? Cherky, if he's rumoured to be on the bench. So, we don't know yet. But if we get a team leak that Cherky's on the bench, then sell for one of those other players. So, I think Cunha and Cherky could be sold. And I think Wilson, Tavernier, Rogers, Enzo, probably my 4 favourite options to buy. Not including Bruno Fernandes, just because I think you can wait a little bit, and he's also very expensive. Dash makes this final update. Okay, what have you done? Kelleher, Timber, Heaven, Richards, De Kuyper, Wilson, Saka, Enzo, Garner, DCR, and Ekitike captain. Dubravka, Haaland, Cherky, James, Watkins, and Foden. Goodbye, I'm sorry. Listen, Ekitike is probably the second best captain this week, so I get it. And if you're not going to start Foden this week, then I don't mind selling him. It's a nice team, mate. If you get a green arrow benching Haaland and Cherky, I respect it. Sorry, guys, my nose is really blocked. Don't want to be sniffling down the mic. Mr. Thorinho, thank you for being here as always, and thank you for the very generous super chat as always. 46 versus 38 in the Family Feud, both with small benching disasters on wildcard. What did you get 46 and she got 38? There's some absolute wizardry going on that you always seem to get more points. I don't appreciate it. On wildcard, Roofs, Dubravka, Jean-Paul Van Hecker, Timber, Gabriel, Alderete, Dorgu, Gakpo, Bruno G, Rogers, Rice, Semenyo, Watkins, Haaland, and Thiago. On wildcard. So that's a wildcard team with Dorgu. Am I misunderstanding? If I am not misunderstanding, please remove Dorgu for anyone, really. If you need a cheap player, I would go for Mukiele. Hopefully you can afford him. If you can't afford Mukiele, just go like Rodon or something. Like I really don't like Dorgu on wildcard. I don't know if I'd have Jean-Paul Van Hecker either. I think I'd prefer Richards, even with the issues that Crystal Palace have. Other than that, I really like the Gakpo pick. I think that's fun. Bruno G's nice short-term pick. I like Watkins as a pick on wildcard. Rice is nice. Gabriel Timber. Yeah, I think the only 2 picks I don't love there are probably Jean-Paul Van Hecker and Dorgu, Thor, but that's a really nice team. Hi, great content. Virgil captain an option. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think they'll keep a clean sheet. He's not been very good for DEFCON, though, but good in the air. Chance for a clean sheet. Could get bonus. I don't mind Van Dijk cap. I do think that unless you do get that bullet header, though, it's probably not the highest ceiling. Hi, Ross. I'm stuck this week. 1 free transfer. Cunha to Tavernier or Cunha to Rice, but that means Raya out from a -4 or start Cunha and roll. If it's Cunha to Tavernier or roll, I would just probably roll. If Tavernier had a better fixture, I'd be all over it, but he just doesn't have the best fixture, so I would leave it for this week. Do you think Ekitike in a 3-4-3 is viable beyond Gameweek 24? No. He's too expensive, man. It's not the 3-4-3 that's the issue. It's the how expensive he is. And also the fixtures aren't really great over the... So longer term, they're not bad. But this little spell here, I don't love. Actually, Newcastle at home's not bad, really, is it? I think it's viable if you don't need the funds. But I can't see a world where you don't want the funds. But again, let's say you've got the team you want and you can keep Ekitike, then maybe. Let's see. Hi, Ross. Thanks for the great content. You are more than welcome, Mark. Xhaka or Anderson to start? I'd go Granit Xhaka, I think. Hi, Ross. Bench Mukiele or Chow? Ooh, that's tough. I would still have to start Chow, I think. So I'd bench Mukiele. But I really do like Mukiele this week. Ross Frazier. Good to see you, Ross. Okay, I've got your team 5 free transfers and 2.1 million in the bank. Planning Bruno, Gameweek 24. Gay to Gabriel, question mark. Enzo, Palmer. Any transfers, though? Any transfer thoughts? Because 5 City. You've got 5 City. So I'm of the understanding then. Wait, I assume you just not listed Haaland here. No, you've not got Haaland. So where's your Where's your Gay? Semenyo, Cherky, Foden, O'Reilly. Ah, okay, so you've got 5 City and no Haaland. Okay, I would do... I think you could maybe sell... I would be maybe willing to sell O'Reilly and Cherky. O'Reilly to Gabriel. And Cherky to Enzo. O'Reilly to... yeah, I mean, if Cherky starts today, that doesn't feel great. So maybe wait to see if we get a leak around this. Because maybe if Foden doesn't start, you sell Foden instead. But I think on paper, O'Reilly to Gabriel, Cherky to Enzo looks good to me. Chicharito, thank you as always for the support. 2 free transfers. 1, Minte to Enzo. Cunha to Tavernier/Wilson. Okay. 2, Minte to Enzo Tavernier only. Play 1 of Cunha/Anderson, but buy Enzo blocks Palmer later. I would just sell Minte to Enzo and Cunha to Wilson or Tavernier. I would make both moves, honestly, mate. Just beef up that midfield and team. That looks really nice. Fielding HD. Okay, I've got your team. Who would you bench this week? Much love. Much love to you as well. I'd bench Mane. I would bench... Oh, that defence is stacked. Mane, Chalobah and Alderete. And Kelleher. Kelleher, Mane, Alderete, Chalobah. Just about. Big Tarkovsky's just so insane for DEFCON, so he's difficult to bench. Who to start, Lafie or Anderson? I've got that exact same debate here myself, mate. And I'm just about leaning towards starting Enzo Lafie because I think he's still on penalties. He also takes set pieces. He's not awful for DEFCON. What's he averaging now? I think it's like 8 point something. Where is his DEFCON? Oh, I need to scroll down. 8.91. Like, he's hit DEFCON on 1, 2, 3 occasions, and he's been 1 off, 2 off here. So, like, he could get you some... I just think Enzo Lafie is just an okay pick, you know? You don't think Rice in for Cunha is worth a -4. Triple up will then be Gabriel, Saka, Rice. And Gameweek 24 move Saka to Bruno and Tarkovsky to Timber. I don't think Rice is worth a -4, no. But if you, like, here's the thing, like, taking a -4 sometimes to set yourself up for the long term isn't a bad thing. So I will say that if you want to set yourself up long term and it will give you peace of mind, just go and take the -4. Like, I probably didn't need to buy Gabriel this week, but it was about, again, buying a player that I know I will just keep now for the foreseeable future, and again, giving myself that peace of mind as well. Danny Gray says, hey mate, hello my friend. Keep 4 City for 2 weeks as I don't want to make moves till 24. Kelleher, keep 4 City for 2, yeah. Kelleher, Virgil, Gabriel, Timber, Foden, Cherky, Semenyo, Soboslai, Rice, Haaland, Ekatike. Bench of Alderete, Krupi and Tarkovsky. God, what a stacked bench that is. To answer your question, yes, I think you can absolutely roll. If Cherky is out this week though, not out, but if Cherky doesn't start, because I think one of Foden, Cherky, Semenyo, there's a chance they don't start. If we get a leak that one of them doesn't start, you could either sell them or just start Alderete or Tarkovsky on your bench. That's a very stacked bench. So yeah, I definitely think you could get away with rolling for the next couple of weeks. Mr. Dean 1009 says, hi Ross, 1 free transfer, 1.7 million in the bank. Okay. Pope, Mukiele, O'Reilly, Gabriel Wilson, Foden, Rice, Bruno G, Thiago, Haaland, Ekatike, subs of Dubravka, Alderete, Gravenberch, and Senesi. Got some nice picks in there, my friend. Yeah, I like that. Mukiele's good. I like Wilson. Gabriel's nice. Foden, Rice, Bruno G's nice midfield. Thiago, Haaland, Ekatike. I mean, can you use a transfer there? I don't think I'd use a transfer, but I do think I would start Alderete ahead of O'Reilly. I don't love benching Sunderland defenders this week at home. They're great for DEFCON. They carry some attacking threat. Palace are a bit all over the place in terms of just behind the scenes and Glasner's motivations and losing Gay On top of, obviously, the rumours about Mateta. It does feel like an okay time to play Palace. It doesn't always play out that way. It might be just Palace just batter Sunderland. But yeah, it doesn't feel bad on paper. One free transfer. Should I do Minte to Enzo this week or roll and sell Ekatike next game week to upgrade Minte to Rodgers or Bruno Fernandes? I would just do Minte to Enzo. Minte to Enzo feels like a nice transfer. 2 free transfers. Cunha, Thiago, Waltemada. Want to get rid of 2. Could bring in Rice and not sure if Waltemada starts. I don't think yeah, maybe. If you're having to start all 3 of them, for sure, you could do like, I don't know, like maybe Waltemada to... I honestly, if you're going to sell Waltemada, I would just go down to Krupi or Mane. So Waltemada to Krupi and Cunha to Rice doesn't feel bad. Yeah, I'd quite like that, actually. Sorry for sniffling down the mic. I do apologise. Got your full team. BK Cricket, Norway. I assume you play cricket in Norway. What is the question, though? You're just asking for my opinion. Okay, Roofs, Gabriel, Timber, Frimpong. Nice defence for this week. In fact, fantastic defence for this week. Saka, Gordon, Foden, Rodgers, Tavernier. Great midfield. Haaland, Calvert-Lewin. Great team. I mean, you don't need a transfer. I assume you're not asking if you should make a transfer, but you certainly don't need a transfer. Tuna Tins, updated wildcard. Here we go. For Bruggen, Gabriel, Timber, Anderson. Great defence. Enzo, Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo, Rice, Rodgers, Haaland, Ekatike, Dubravka, Thiago, Alderete, Senesi. That is a 9.6. I really like that. Again, I still don't know if I'd have Ekatike on a wild card, but I like him for this week, so I do get it. Like I'd be very happy with that wild card. I don't think anything stands out terribly there for me. Hi Ross, hope you're well. So Gay's not in the squad. Gay will not be in either squad this week. He's finalising his move to City. He wouldn't have been signed and registered in time. And Glasner said that he's not going to be in the Palace squad, of course. So Adrian Norris says, help please. I have Thiago, Raul Jimenez, Haaland, Foden, Garner, Enzo, Saka, Rodgers, Timber, Gabriel, Senesi, O'Reilly, De Kuyper, Kelleher, Dubravka. 1 free transfer, 1.7 in the bank. Okay, forward line's fine. Foden, Garner, Enzo, Saka, Rodgers is great. Timber, Gabriel, Senesi. Fine. I don't think you need a transfer, my friend. Yeah, I would roll. I'd bench O'Reilly. I'd bench De Kuyper. I'd bench Dubravka. And I would bench... Ooh, which attacker do you bench? Probably Garner. Garner, O'Reilly, De Kuyper, and Dubravka on your bench, and I would roll. Hey, mate, would you start Enzo or Palmer this week? If you've got both, I mean, you start both. There's no way you bench either of those. But if you had to start only one, I'd still start Palmer. Tempted to transfer out Cunha for Wilson. Yeah, I have 2 free transfers. Would you play Cunha this week against Man City or save the transfer? I would be tempted to still make that move. Like, I do think Cunha will be fine this week, but I really like Harry Wilson. So I would be tempted to make the move. And thank you for being a member for 46 months, Johan. That's insane. 46 months. Thor says, I'm a Seagulls fan. Of course you are. Yeah, you've said that a few times. So Van Hecker is the token. That makes sense. Could downgrade to Gross in midfield and get 2 more premium defenders, but then which midfielder to sell? Bruno G? Question mark. No, I think if it's that situation, I don't actually love the premium defenders right now. So, yeah, I think Jean-Paul Van Hecker's fine then. The Scan Legend says, I have O'Reilly and Cunha, 0.6 in the bank. Who would you buy or would you roll? I have Rodgers, Enzo, Gordon, Foden, VVD, and Timber currently, so I'm stuck. If you're having to start O'Reilly and Cunha, I would probably sell one of them. I think O'Reilly to Chalobah's a fine transfer, or Cunha to Wilson or Tavernier. I think if it's Tavernier you want, I would leave Cunha for 1 week. If it's Wilson you want, I would do it this week. In terms of selling O'Reilly, Gabriel was the main one I'd want, but you couldn't afford that, or you've already got him. Yeah, I mean the thing is, like, I keep saying O'Reilly's. You could definitely start O'Reilly this week. Would not be surprised if he starts at left back. And Man United are pretty rubbish. You're my favourite YouTuber, Ross. Thank you very much. That's very sweet. Hi, Ross. Any team leaks yet? Nothing yet, but we normally start getting the team leaks about 30 minutes from kickoff, which will kick off from the deadline. So that'll be in about 35 minutes. I would say we're going to probably start, if we are to get some. I can't promise, but if we are to get some, that's normally the time they start coming in, which is a couple of hours before kickoff. Start O'Reilly, Anderson, or Goodmanson? Probably Anderson there, Adrian. Shrikar says, hello, Ross. My team is Gabriel, Mukiele, O'Reilly, Dallo, Vandenberg, Cunha, Rogers, Saka, Foden, Soboslai, Thiago, Haaland, Guiu. Okay. 2 free transfers, 0.9 in the bank. Cunha / Foden. Oh, sorry. Cunha, Foden / Sobo, Saka out. To Rice, Enzo, and Bruno in. Then JT, James, Munoz out of order of transfers. I don't think Timber's a priority transfer in. Neither is James. Neither is Munoz. If I was to buy one of those defenders, it's probably Timber or Munoz. I'm not convinced about Reece James now because he's not going to play midfield regularly and he will share minutes with Gusto. So let me answer your first question. Cunha, Foden / Solbo to Saka out to Rice, Enzo, Bruno. I don't think I'd make those moves this week, no. What I would do, if you want to sell Cunha, is I would just sell Cunha for Rice. Oh no, you'd have to sell Saka to get Rice, wouldn't you? I would just do Cunha to Enzo, Shrikar. And then I would probably buy Timber as the next player you buy. Gabriel. No, you do have a third Arsenal. Yeah, you do have a third Arsenal. I would just do Cunha to Rice then. And leave it there. Carl says, hi Ross, hope you're well, mate. Can you rate? Apparently I'm not. Apparently I've just developed a cold in the last hour, but that's fine. Hi Ross, hope you're well, mate. Can you rate Verbruggen, O'Reilly, Anderson, Timber, Rice, Rogers, Wirtz, Foden, Watkins, Ekatike, Haaland? That is a brilliant team. Watkins and Ekatike is class. Florian Wirtz for this week is great. I like Rogers. That's a great team. The only small part I could criticise is no Gabriel, and you've got O'Reilly, who I don't think is that great of an option. If O'Reilly was Gabriel, that team would look phenomenal. Mateus Nunes for United or Mateus Mane versus Newcastle. That's a good question. I would probably start Nunes. Don't expect Mane to get that much joy. Would you start Thiago over any of Chalobah, Cash, Chow, Gabriel, or Alderete? I would maybe start him over Chalobah and just hope that Chelsea don't keep a clean sheet. And obviously, if they don't, then it's going to be Thiago that wipes out. But if you think Chelsea will keep a clean sheet, then of course I wouldn't start Thiago. Also, loving the GeoGuessr content. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Ashley. I'm glad people enjoy that. I will do a little plug. Anytime anyone mentions the GeoRaptor, I do it. Oh, the GeoGuessr stuff. No, come on now, keyboard. Wake up. My keyboard dies. There's probably a setting I could put on my keyboard, but it dies really quickly on me. Not dies, but you have to flick a thing to wake it up, basically. If you like one of three things. One of four things. If you like geography and fun geography games, if you like GeoGuessr, if you like stuff that will help you go to sleep because it's boring and you can put it in the background, or you like me, could you please consider subscribing to my other YouTube channel, which is GeoRaptor YouTube? I've linked it in the chat. Please don't ban me for spamming in my chat. All you have to do is click on that subscribe. It really supports me. You don't realize how much it helps just subscribing. And you can always unsubscribe at a later date if you get bored of seeing me on your feed. And then obviously feel free to check out the content as well. But yeah, it would really help a lot if you subscribe. Thank you. Little plug there. Also, obviously, feel free to subscribe to this channel as well, which is FPL Raptor. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ashley, for giving me an opportunity to plug. Good morning, Ross. I need a defence until game week 31 instead of Dallo, a defender. Okay, have 4 free transfers, max of 6 million, unless I downgrade elsewhere this week. Got Gabriel and 2 Arsenal. Okay, so no Gabriel, no Timber. And you've only got 6 million. So I think you can look at this a few ways. I would say you can either hold off and get Munoz next week. You could get Chalobah. I would probably go Chalobah. Yeah. I'm gonna save you the spiel and I'd get Chalobah. If you wanted to go a bit cheaper than Chalobah, I would go Senesi or Richards would be the two that I'd be looking at. Why are people overlooking Rao on a wild card? His long-term fixtures are so much better than DCL, plus he's in good form as well. I would say yes, he's being slightly overlooked. He's a bit more expensive, of course, and I also think he's a pretty rubbish finisher based on recent history. Not recent history, but across the last couple of years, he's missed a lot of chances, but I guess so has DCL. I don't mind Raul Jimenez, actually. Yeah, I would agree with you, Vidat. I would agree that he's probably been overlooked. Hey Ross, Cunha to Gakpo or Cunha to Verts? I actually think I'd go Verts. I'd go Verts. Agree. Phil/Cherky to Enzo. O'Reilly to Gab is 3 times Arsenal defence. Oh, was it? Let me find your team. That is triple Arsenal. Do you know what? I don't care. I would be tempted to go triple Arsenal defence. That's actually I actually still don't mind that. But yeah, I understand if that puts you off, but I don't mind it. Just for this game week, who is better, Rice or Enzo? Just for this game week, if I was to only have one, I'd rather Enzo Fernandez. Probably myself. Ross, 2 players to start from Thiago, DCL and Wilson, and 1 from Cash Alderete. I would start Alderete, Wilson, and DCL. I'd bench Thiago and Cash there myself. That's pretty difficult though, Ritvik. So trust your gut feeling on it. But yeah, I would probably bench Thiago and Cash. Start 2 of Anderson, Wilson, Rodon, and Tarkovsky. I would bench Elliot Anderson from Forest and probably Rodon. I'd start Wilson, Joachim Anderson, and Tarkovsky. Right. I'm going to run a poll for captaincy. Who are you captaining this week, chat? I can put Haaland. I can put Ekatike. Who is the 3rd most popular captain? I'd love to know. If you're not captaining Ekatike or Haaland, who are you captaining? Wilson. Okay. Palmer. Rice. Bruno G. Saka. Rogers. It's too split, isn't it? I'll just put other. There's too many different captains. There was no standout there as I asked people. There you go. Who are you captaining Game Week 22? Haaland, Ekatike or other? Lots of nice shouts there, by the way. Though I really don't mind the different shouts. Bench 1 of Mukiele, Alderete, DCL, Rogers, Palmer. I'll bench 1 of your Sunderland defenders. Mukiele, Alderete, flip a coin. Flip a coin. They're literally almost identical assets. So, yeah, I'd flip a coin. I don't mind Gabriel Cap. Forest do concede a lot from set pieces, by the way. I was looking at this. If we go on teams, and then we go defensive. Forest have conceded. Is that right? Oh no, this is away only. I was wondering why that looked different when I looked earlier. Forest have conceded 50 headed chances this season, which puts them in joint 5th worst. West Ham, by the way, have conceded 81 headed chances. Who do West Ham have coming up in terms of like Spurs? If you've got Van der Ven or Romero, there's a chance they score from a set piece this week. Then where's West Ham? Oh, Sunderland. Oh my God. Again, if you've got Mukiele or Alderete next week, I would start them. Then Chelsea, if you've got Chalobah, start them. Then Burnley, maybe a Stev. But yeah, West Ham concedes so many headed chances. In terms of chances conceded from set pieces, again, Forest 17th. 17th, they've conceded 17th, which puts them 16th. So basically, Forest concede a lot of chances from set pieces, headed chances, stuff like that. Have you made your transfers? I've made 2 transfers, but I've still got 1 free transfer left. And there is a chance that I make a transfer. If Foden is benched, I'll be tempted. If Ekatike is benched, I'll be tempted. So yeah, something to think about. Defense is Timber, O'Reilly, Senesi. Play or Vandenberg / Dorgu to Mukiele? That's actually quite tough. I would still sell Dorgu to Mukiele, not just because I would then start Mukiele ahead of O'Reilly, but also I just think Dorgu is a dead asset now. He might start this week, but... Would you consider doing a deadline stream with Harry? I want to hear you both the last hour before the deadline, but it's hard when it's 2 different streams. I mean, feel free to flick between the streams. It still supports and helps us. I get what you mean. I'll be entirely honest. It's just not beneficial to us for so many reasons in terms of views, subscribers, income as well. Like anytime someone sends a super chat, if we were streaming together, we'd have to split that. And also, it's just a bit manic. Like, think about how... I don't stop talking at any point. I'm just constant. If we're sharing that and trying to speak over each other, it would get a bit crazy. I do like the concept of it. And maybe one day, me and Harry could do a stream together. But I think it's quite unlikely, I would say. But I can appreciate that for a lot of people, it would make it easier if you had your 2 creators that you like watching streaming together. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. Is this the final team, Rossi boy? Yeah, I like I say, the only thing that would change this team is I could change the bench order. And then also, if Foden or Ekatike were rumoured to be on the bench, that might change things for me. Okay, let's actually just go through, just in case we get news close to the deadline. If Foden were to be benched, I would just put him 3rd sub, start Anderson, and move Garner to 1st sub. So if he were to be benched, I would just do this. That would be my team. Okay? So that's if Foden's benched. That would be what I would do. If Ekatike were to be benched, we won't find out. Unlikely, but some people do get Liverpool news way ahead of time, like Oscar FPL Focal sometimes does. That's more difficult. Because again, I could just do that, but then Ekatike just is then a stinking asset moving forward. But I would imagine that regardless of who gets benched, I probably don't make a transfer. What I could do, though, is I could do Ekatike to Watkins if we were to get that league. Is Foden likely? I don't think Foden or Ekatike will be benched, is my prediction. But it's good to prepare mentally for what would you do rather than panicking last minute because you've not thought about the possibility. We've not got any team leaks yet, by the way. Frederick's been a member for 31 months. Thank you, my friend. Hey, Ross, my 3-week plan is Hall, Cherky, Saka to Gabriel, Enzo, Bruno. 1 free transfer, 0.3 in the bank. Would you do Cherky, Saka to Enzo this week? 2 transfers for a -4 or roll? I think you wait a week. Yeah, I think Hall's great this week. Cherky, if he starts, is fine. I don't mind Saka. So I think I would wait. I would wait at least a week for those moves. But yeah, I like your next 3 players being Gabriel, Enzo, and Bruno. Makes a lot of sense to me, Roger. Do you think Ballard could be worth the extra 0.5 over Alderete? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, lots of people worried about Saka being benched. I'll be honest, I see it. I do see it. Yeah, Madueke could absolutely start, but I still would predict a Saka start, and we'll see. Like, if Saka gets benched in this game, he's going to be difficult to hold on to, especially if Rice starts again, which feels likely. Like, you can't... Yet Rice outscoring Saka and being good value is one thing, but if Saka starts getting regular bench-ins, it's game over for him at 10.3 million, 10.4 million, whatever he is. Hi, Russ, would you bench DCL or Garner? I would bench Garner, personally, mate. Jack, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Ross. Hope you're doing well. My team is currently... Okay, I've got your team. Thinking Cunha to Enzo, Anderson to Wilson. Loved the transfers. Huge fan of the transfers. Yeah, nice team. Nice team. Great transfers. I would arguably say that's exactly what I would advise. The only thing you could consider is going Tavernier over Wilson, but I'm not going to lie, I'd be very tempted to just go Wilson. So yeah, I'd love those transfers, Jack. Best Cunha replacement. Verts, Enzo, Tavernier have Rice. Enzo Fernandez would be top. Shazam says, good morning, mate. Slept in. Oops. I'm glad you got some sleep, mate. That's good. It's important to get good sleep. You didn't miss too much anyway. What transfers did you make? I made slightly questionable transfers, but it makes sense in my mind. I sold Dorgu and Cunha, which isn't the questionable bit, but I had to sell Cunha to Garner to be able to afford Gabriel. So I want to show you, though, because I know it seems a bit crazy having Laffy and Garner, but for the next couple of weeks, it's actually pretty good. So this week, we've seen the team. Next week, then, I'll go predicted one game week. This is the team, and I actually think I'd bench Soberslai. So next week, I know they're not great picks, really, but Garner's got Leeds at home, and Enzo Laffy's got West Ham away. So I honestly think I'll start the pair of them. I just think they're really decent. So yeah, Garner and Laffy, I'd start next week. That bench, by the way, I'm super tempted to bench boost next week. Like, that is a very decent bench. And then in 24, Enzo Laffy's got Burnley. Garner's got Brighton. So what I need to then think about is, I've already booked in a couple of transfers here, but I'd probably do Ekatike down to someone like Mane or Krupi. I'd buy Bruno Fernandes for Soberslai. And what was the other move I made here? Oh, and I'd buy Enzo Fernandez for... Who did I sell? Who was the other one? Foden. So I think that's something like what the team could look like for Game Week 24. And then in 25, I'd then look at selling Enzo Laffy to, like, I don't know, Morgan Rogers. There's a link down below, by the way, if you want to check out Fantasy Football Hub, which is the site that I'm using here. Oh, I didn't click it, did I? Rogers. Lewis Hall would come in for this fixture probably as well. And in fact, I'd probably be tempted to just play Anderson over Garner. So the team could look something like that for Game Week 25 then. That's kind of the thought process long term. But basically, like, for the next few weeks, I don't mind having Enzo Laffy and James Garner. Focal on his stream, said the Liverpool lineup. What was it? Do you mind letting me know? Or has he tweeted it? Oh, might be at that point of the stream where we have to start considering using the standing desk. The old man back's kicking in. I said in the chat the Liverpool lineup. Okay. So apparently the team is Allison, Frimpong, VVD, Kanate, Kirkes, Jones, Gravenberch, Verts, Soberslai, Gakpo, and Ekatike. Apparently, that's the team. According to... so someone said that... Do you know what? Let me message him to make sure this is truthful. I'll just say... did you just sneak? I'll ask Oscar. He might tweet it anyway. Right, I've messaged the source. If it is actually Oscar has someone that is very close to Liverpool and gets all the team news ahead of time. Yes. So if it is from Oscar and it's from the same source, then it is credible. Yes. I don't think they've ever got. I think they got one thing wrong once, but apparently it was a late change. Never usually comment, but you are an absolute legend and keep up the amazing content. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that being one of your first comments then. Would you start Xhaka over Foden and Cherky if benched? Yeah, of course, if they're benched. Yeah, but if we don't get that leak, then I wouldn't risk it. Timbo Sly says, "Hi Egg, only playing bench cover at the moment is croupy. I've done Cunha to Enzo and have 2 free transfers left. Would you do Keane to Saliba or play my back 3 of Gabriel, O'Reilly, Anderson and roll the 2 free transfers and hope Ekatike and Foden play? For now, I would roll and hope Ekatike and Foden play. I don't love Saliba as a pick. He'll play most games. They're not great for DEFCON. Doesn't carry much attacking threat and hasn't even been great for bonus points when he's played this season. So I think I would probably roll and hope. -4 for O'Reilly to Timber or -4 Minte to Rice. I don't love either of those, but I probably prefer a -4 for Rice if you're going to make one of them, Jay. Would you transfer out Cunha with a midfield already consisting of Saka, Foden, Bruno G and Garner? If you can get away with just keeping Cunha this week, I think that's fine. But if you've got the free transfers, then yes, I'll just buy Enzo Fernandez. Benjamin. Sorry. One sec. Are you locked in with those 2 transfers? Well, the 2 transfers have been made. I might make a third. But yeah, those transfers have been, of course, made. Sorry, Benjamin. Hi, Ross. Rate my wildcard. Okay, I've got your wildcard. I would give that... I really like it. Really like it. I'd give that like a 9.4. Is there anyone there I don't like? I mean, Munoz, I suppose, is a slight risk. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like a 9.4 Benjamin. I can't really criticize. The only small criticism is that it might be a bit early to have Munoz in your team, but I like it. Bench DCO or Soboslai? I couldn't bench Soboslai ahead of Burnley, but I do like Calvert-Lewin. I'd ideally like to bench neither of those, but if you have to, I'd start Soboslai. Michael Parks, thank you for the super chat. Okay, I've got your team. 3 free transfers, 0.1 in the bank. Dubravka, O'Reilly, Goodmanson to Sarr, Alderete and Cash, then possibly bench boost or roll. Roll. Yeah, I don't like that, sorry. I don't mind selling O'Reilly. I don't even mind buying Alderete or Cash, but I wouldn't be making 3 transfers, including selling Dubravka to bench boost. It doesn't feel necessary right now. Free transfers are extremely valuable, and I don't even think that makes it the strongest bench boost. I would just hold off on the bench boost. The only way I would play a bench boost in the next 6 to 8 game weeks is if naturally your bench just lands in a really good spot. I wouldn't be using transfers for a bench boost. There'll always be better opportunities in the future. If not Saliba, is there anyone you could move Keane to? Can't afford Timber, or would you still roll in my case? I still think I would roll Timbo Slice. Is there anyone you could buy that I think is worth it? Chalobah might be worth it, but still not a great option. But yeah, Chalobah's the only one that stands out to me as being a good longer-term option. I don't hate Senesi. I don't hate Richards, but again, probably not worth the transfers. Charclares. Hello, Ross. Hatik here. Oh, I don't know what the handle was then. Hello, Hatik. 1 free transfer, 0.5 million in the bank. Dilemma: start Minte or Van Hecker. Van Hecker. If Minte plays, he's great. And I don't think Van Hecker... Do you know what? I would actually start Yankuba Minte and risk it. Or do 2 Minte to Tavernier. Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe just do that. Maybe just do Minte to Tavernier. Or 3, roll, and next game we can roll down and KDH to Enzo, keep Minte. Love the tweet this morning. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Hatik. I would probably do Minte to Tavernier because it's a nice long-term transfer and you still get a player on Monday Night Football. Oscar's blanking me, by the way. Disrespectful. If not, Saliba is the... Oh, I hope you're well, mate. Midfield of Saka, Enzo, Szoboszlai, Foden, Cunha. Okay? Cunha to Rice or Keane to Alderete, player back 4. Also, Goodmanson on the bench. 4 free transfers. I would just do Cunha to Rice. Do you know what? You could also just do Cunha to Rice and Keane to Alderete. I don't mind the double transfer. But if I was going to do one there, it would be Cunha to Rice. How come you didn't captain Ekatike? I'm just slightly worried about his minutes. I'll be honest, is the main thing. Just going to have a little search, see if I can find any early team news. So yeah, I can't see anything yet. So if you've just joined, firstly, welcome. Please make sure to like the stream and please make sure to subscribe as well. Listen, subscribing doesn't do you any harm, you know? It's free to do. You can always unsubscribe. You know? Unsubscribe to some people. I don't even watch their videos. You know, it's free. It's just easy. Easy stuff. Also, sorry, the point is, if you are just joining, we did get someone in the chat said that on Oscar's stream, he said that... One sec. Do you know what? I'm just going to go comment in Oscar's group chat. Where is Oscar?
Bench for 1.
Subscriber only mode. I am a subscriber. Close.
I feel like it has to be Thiago away at
Someone
Chelsea,
said
but
you
it does seem a bit crazy when he's got 5 goals in
Liverpool
2. So
team.
it's Lefebvre or
Is
Thiago.
that true?
I guess
The thing is, I'm going to have to now listen
I guess
to
you'd
his
kick
stream.
yourself, wouldn't you, if you benched
Wait,
Thiago
I'll ask
before
him
he's
on
in,
this.
if he carries that on. But I hate to say it, like I said earlier, because I've got Thiago and I'm starting.
And then I'm gonna listen on here. We're gonna listen to Oscar give us the answer.
I would play Lefebvre. Sorry, I'd play Thiago over Lefebvre.
Has he seen my message?
Yeah, it is Ross. I'll read it again. I'll put it in the corner as well.
Here we go. Oscar said it is true.
So starts Ekatike, Szoboszlai. Who else was it? Verts, Gakpo.
Okay, according to Oscar, who has a reliable
The
source.
team I got sent is Alisson, Frimpong, Kanate, Van Dijk, Kirkes, Jones, Gravenberg, Verts, Szoboszlai, Gakpo, and Ekatike. So basically, everyone starts.
Everyone starts. There you go. Oscar's source is usually correct, so it's not my source, it's Oscar's source, and still, please don't blame Oscar if it's not true. But apparently, yeah, apparently that's the case. Sorry for the bit of time where it was both of our voices. I forgot to mute the YouTube. Okay, so according to a usually reliable source. Finish your sentence. What did I say? Oh, sorry. I thought you could hear it. Apparently, Ekatike versus Szoboszlai will start. And Gakpo. Ekatike... Sorry, I'm just typing it out so that I can pin it in the chat. Ekatike versus... And Gakpo all start. Cool. There you go. Sorry for the ADHD, difficulty multitasking, and the dual stream. But just to confirm, apparently, according to a usually reliable source, Verts, Gakpo, Ekatike all start. Not my source, but there you go. One free transfer, own Semenyo, Foden, Shirky, Haaland. Roll? Yeah, roll unless we get a leak that one of those players doesn't start. I have Cunha. What should I do? Sell for Enzo, Gakpo, or anyone you recommend. 2, bench for Harry Wilson and roll. Or 3, start Cunha and roll. Oh, if you've got Harry Wilson, just start Harry Wilson. One of the recommendations would be to sell Cunha for Wilson. So yeah, I would just start Wilson. Hi Ross, loving the content as ever. Thank you very much, Dan. Played my wildcard as I wanted some fun back in FPL. Is Foden the best 2-week punt until Bruno Fernandes in 24? If not, who is? I would probably say it will be, probably for me, Verts, Gakpo, Bruno G, or Wilson. I don't mind Foden, I guess, but I do think there is a chance Foden is benched in one of the next two. Sorry, I got an itchy back. I would honestly be tempted by Gakpo or Verts with the next 2 games. Hi Ross, James and Cunha to Gabriel and Enzo for a -4. Cherky or Tavernier other options to start, and only Rodon as my backup defence. I think Rodon's perfectly fine. I also don't mind Tavernier, to be honest. I think you could get away with not making those moves, or just doing Cunha to... Oh, but Gabriel is great. Screw it. I would take the -4. I know what it felt like not having Gabriel, so yeah, I would just go for it. 4 free transfers. Saka to Rice to afford Bowen to Ekatike and Minte/Anderson to Enzo. Saka to Rice to afford Bowen to Ekatike. Frees up money for phone to Bruno in 2 weeks. Love you, Beg. Really appreciate what you do. Thank you very much for the kind words. There's so much to think about here. I don't love selling Saka to Rice, but I think it is good value. Bowen to Ekatike is fine short term, but I don't love Ekatike long term. He is great now. And Minte/Anderson to Enzo feels great, and you free up money. I would probably say yes, and I would probably rather sell Minte than Anderson. Hopefully that helps, Xbendy. Chris says, morning, Ross. Hope you are well. I'm well, thank you, Chris. Done Saka Dorgu to Enzo Gabriel. Done Saka Dorgu to Enzo Gabriel. 1 free transfers left. Considering Minte to Tavernier/Wilson, but now unsure as he's available. Cheers. Firstly, Saka Dorgu to Enzo Gabriel is fine. Considering Minte to Tavernier/Wilson, but unsure as I don't think Minte's a great long-term hold anyway, so I wouldn't mind doing Minte to Tavernier or Wilson regardless. Because I just don't think you want Minte in the long term. So I would probably be willing to make that move. Start Watermada or Grealish? Probably Grealish. Watermada if he starts is great, but does he start? I'd risk it with Watermada. Bench one of Van Dijk, Cherky, Thiago, Timber, Hall, and Wilson. Probably Cherky out of those options. Or Cherky or Thiago. Probably Cherky. Frimpong's a good punt before wildcard. Yeah, I don't mind the Frimpong punt. Any early City team news? Titty team news. No Titty team news. Any early City team news? No, not yet. But there are a few accounts that do often post team leaks. And I will keep my eye on those accounts, of course, for you. Basically, just kick back, relax, stay in the stream for the next 30 minutes. And if I get any early team news, I'll let you know. Why not captaincy on Ekatike? I'm just not fully there on his minutes. Even if I know that he starts, I still don't know that he plays more than like 65, 70, which is a worry, isn't it? Harry Wilson captain as a differential? I don't mind it, yeah. The leaks will probably come 2 seconds before the deadline. They often come close, but hopefully not 2 seconds. That'd be funny. Chelsea lineup prediction. I do think Enzo and Palmer both started. That's what you want. I don't know about Reece James. Like, the issue with Reece James, right, is if he wants to play Caicedo and Andre Santos in the pivot, it means that James has to share minutes at right back with Gusto. Start Enzo Lafille or Mukiele? Probably Mukiele. 70 minutes of Ekatike against Burnley is better than 85 minutes of Haaland on current form. I think that's close-ish. I just about would still prefer Haaland if you gave me those expected minutes. Oscar has the Liverpool leak already. We've already pinned it in the chat. So according to the source, Ekatike, Wirtz and Gakpo all start. Sam Luckhurst is Cunha benched. Is that reliable? Really? Can check Samuel Luckhurst's. I mean, if Samuel Luckhurst says that, then yes, but I'd be surprised if he posted that. Where is he? I don't see Samuel Luckhurst posting anything. Is it a fake account then, I assume? I'm on Samuel Luckhurst's page now, and I see nothing post about the team news. So I would assume it's a fake account. It's on Facebook. It's on his Facebook. I don't even think I'm logged into it, Facebook. Samuel. Am I able to still view it even if I've... Oh, my computer froze a bit there. Samuel Luckhurst. As if I'm checking a bloody Facebook page. I mean, we'll see. So he said... let me show you. I don't want to log in. Stop trying to make me log in. So Samuel Luckhurst, who is correct sometimes, but he's literally said that he doesn't know. A Man United team that has leaked Lamans, Dallo, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Mainu, Ahmad, Fernandez, Dorgu, and Burmo. It is unclear if it is accurate or deliberately incorrect. So it's basically useless. He's covered himself on all bases. In the past, some inaccurate United 11s have been leaked in an attempt to unearth the source. So no, don't care. Not interested in that. Not interested. Start Stack or Bowen? I'd start Bowen. O'Reilly or Collins? I would start Collins. Collins and Bowen. Start one of O'Reilly, Minte or Anderson from Fulham. Ooh, tough one. I'd still say Joachim Anderson there. Are Petrovic and Kelleher the best two goalkeeper options to go for? I feel like they rotate pretty well with each other long term. I've not looked at the rotation, but yeah, I don't mind that then. I think Roofs and Verbruggen in their own right are better than Petrovic and Kelleher. It depends what you're after, though. If the rotation is nice between the two of them, they're pretty cheap. I don't hate that at all. Hi, Ross. Start Tarkovsky, Rodon, or Anderson? Joachim Anderson, just about. Got Wilson and Lafille. Cunha, Tagana, Tav, or Roll. If you can just bench Cunha and start Wilson and Lafille, then I would leave it. If you're having to start, I would still probably leave it. I think I'd roll the transfer there, Sam. Hi, Ross. I have Chalobah, Hall, Gabriel, Miley, Cherky, Foden, Saka, Ekatike, Holland, Thiago in my 11 with Cunha on the bench. 2 transfers in hand. What should I do? Roll or make some transfers? So you've got Chalobah, Hall, Gabriel, Miley, Cherky, Foden, Saka, Ekatike. I think I would probably roll in that case. Chalobah, Hall, Gabriel, Cherky, Yeah, I think you could get away with rolling there, couldn't you? Unless we get a leak that Shirky or Foden are benched, I think I'd roll. If we do get that leak, then maybe you could sell Cunha and then bench Shirky or Foden. Chalobah and Tavernier, brackets Wilson, or Enzo and Robinson, brackets Alderete. I think Enzo and Alderete is probably the strongest combination there. Start two of Anderson, Rodon, and O'Reilly. I would start Anderson and Rodon. As per some sources, Cherky is benched. Well, you need to give me the source. Who is the source? The souse. FPL Citizens. Are they reliable? I feel like I've actually blocked them. What's their actual exact at? I can't find the account. Can you give me the exact handle? Because when I search them, they don't come up. I'm pretty sure I blocked that account for fake team news in the past. If they're the one I think. Shazam, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Good morning, Ross. I did Wilson and Enzo in for Cunha and Anderson. Yes, I like that. Thanks for the content and all your hard work this week for FPL. Even though you had PhD stuff to do, we really appreciate what you do for us, Ross. Thank you very much, Shazam. I appreciate you. And I really like those transfers. I'm very jealous that you're getting Wilson and Anderson. Like they're right, Wilson and Enzo, sorry. FPL Citizens with 2 S's. Thank you very much, guys. FPL Citizens. That's not coming up. Am I misspelling this? Citizens. That's why it's like that. I blocked them. They're blocked. I only block accounts for 2 reasons. If they're abusive or hateful, or if they post fake team news. I would assume this guy's not been hateful towards me. So I'm pretty sure I remembered the name already. They guess team news, delete the stuff that's wrong, and then keep the stuff that's correct. I'm not saying that what they're posting is incorrect. I'm just saying that I don't believe they have a reliable source. Hey, Ross, start Mukiele or Chow. Very close, Kieran, like super close, but I would just about lean Chow. Might have been covered, but what would you do with Gay? Start or bench? Is he likely to be benched with the transfer? Thank you for the super chat. He's not going to start this week for anyone. He's in the process of signing for City. Glasner has confirmed he's not in the squad, and he won't be signed in time for City to play, obviously, today. So there's no point starting Gay. I mean, you could start him, but he won't play. Start Mukiele, roll or transfer Hincapié for Gabriel. If you've got the ability to go straight from Hincapié to Gabriel for free, easy peasy. Do it. Bench one of Wilson, Foden, Thiago, and Hincapié or O'Reilly. I'd probably bench Hincapié. James to a Spurs defender, thinking Van der Ven. I don't mind Van der Ven for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, not terrible. If City team news is leaked before the deadline and Shirky is benched, should I start Anderson, Garner, or Rodon? I mean, I've got your exact 3 players on my bench. So look at the bench order that I've got, and that should hopefully help you. FPL Marcelo leaked to the Man United 11. I think that's a joke. Isn't he like a troll account? Not a troll account, but I don't think. Unless it's the wrong account I'm thinking of. Oh, he's just posted the Samuel Luckhurst Facebook thing that we all looked at on the stream. You've got 20 minutes until the deadline. 20 minutes. Hi Ross, hello. Team is Kelleher, Gabriel, Anderson, Hall, Saka, Foden, Gordon, Wilson, Rice. Lovely midfield. Thiago, Haaland. Who to bench? O'Reilly, Wilson, or Anderson? Cheers, mate. You definitely don't bench Wilson. I would probably say start your Fulham boys, and I would bench O'Reilly. It's a really nice team, by the way. I like the fact that you've got Wilson and Rice. I'm very jealous of those two picks. Everyone else's midfield just looks so much better than mine. My midfield just reeks right now, but it will be improved in the coming game weeks. Do you think O'Reilly will start? I mean, my gut instinct tells me yes, but I have no idea, man. I've got no idea. And he's not great even when he started recently, is he? Semen yes or Semen no? I think Semen yes. I think he'll start if you're asking that question. What to do with Keane? 0.2 in the bank and 1 free transfer. Is it worth Watermarder and Keane to Gabriel and Creepy for a hit? O'Reilly on the bench. Honestly, yes, probably. I would just get Gabriel. I decided that I just need to get Gabriel. I can't go another week without him. He could get a 17-pointer every single week and it wouldn't even be that unreasonable. Okay, Dennis, good to see you, my friend. Got your 11. Saka, Cherky, Bowen to Rice, Semenyo, and Watkins, and Thiago Rekatike. Saka, Cherky, Bowen to Rice, Semenyo, Watkins. I don't mind that, but only if we get a leak that either Cherky's bench or Semenyo starts. Because if you get that switch wrong, then it makes the whole thing a lot weaker. Would I buy Watkins, Thiago, or Ekatike? I mean, this week I'd much rather have Ekatike, but in the longer term, I think Watkins might be the cheekiest pick there. So, yeah, I don't think I'd buy Thiago this week. I know everyone else seems to have done so, but I'm not getting behind that as much. FPL boys have rumours. Again, I don't think it's accurate or consistent. Alex, start Semenyo. My bench is Anderson, Cunha, Dallo. Yeah, the only player I'd be tempted to maybe start over Semenyo is Anderson, but I prefer Semenyo. So unless we get a leak that he doesn't start, I would be starting Semenyo there, yes. Wildcard, Wilson or Tav or Enzo? Do I risk Munoz? You could risk Munoz as long as you have cover, because he's not going to play this week, Munoz. He might be back next week, but he won't play this week. Wilson, Tav, or Enzo? I would probably rank them Enzo, Tavernier, Wilson, but it's very close, and I really like Wilson as a pick. So I don't want to say Wilson's a bad pick. They're probably my 3 favourite midfielders to own. If I was wildcarding, I would almost definitely try to get Wilson, Tavernier, and Enzo in. Captain Watkins over Haaland. I don't hate it, but I prefer Haaland. Semenyo over Enzo on wildcard. Not for me, I prefer Enzo. Are you predicting Palace to beat Sunderland at home? Is that what I've done? I have. I would change that now. I did that a couple of days ago, to be honest. And with the gay news, with what we heard from Glasgow, I would probably change that now. Hi, Ross. Great content. Thank you. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it, John. Start Tarkovsky or O'Reilly. I would start Tarkovsky personally, John. Start 2 out of DCL, Lafitte, Alderete, Tavernier. Probably DCL and Tavernier. I don't like benching both your Sunderland players, though. DCL and... maybe DCL and Alderete. Maybe DCL and Alderete. Hi, Ross. This is Jish from India again. Thank you, Jish. I appreciate the support, my friend. Thanks for the lovely content as usual. My question, Gabriel, Timber, Rice, Saka, the best 3. On paper, the best 3 for me is probably Gabriel, Rice, and one of Saka or Timber. Probably just about Yuri and Timber. So I would say Gabriel, Timber, Rice is probably your best 3. But it's very close between Timber and Saka for that 3rd spot. Start Bowen or Gravenberch. Gravenberch this week against Burnley, I'd start. Many thanks for the previous, mate. I'm sure your mids will improve. Thank you very much. Bench order, Krupi, O'Reilly, Vandenberg. I think you've got it in the correct order there. Krupi, Riley, Vandenberg in that order. Sorry if it's been asked a million times already. That's fine. You don't need to apologise. Any early City team news? Nothing yet that's reliable. No. A few people are posting stuff, but I'm not all the way there right now. Good morning, Lukey boy. Still torn on Mane versus Krupi on wildcard. It's a very tough one, in all fairness. I would maybe be willing to risk it with Krupi. Because I don't think I'm not really feeling Mane that much, like as a game breaker. Ben has gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Ben. JMOA48. You've just been gifted a membership by Ben. Make sure to say thank you. Hi, Ross. Is FPL therapy ever coming back? There's potential. For now, I'm just in a point in my life where I can't maintain it and give it the attention that it deserves. As soon as it felt like it started to become a job and a lot of effort, almost like a chore at points, I knew it was time to just at least suspend it. Great content. Thank you very much, Omar. I'll start Krupi or Cunha or Anderson. I'd go Yorkim Anderson probably there. You got 15 minutes till the deadline. 15 minutes. Starting 11 of Pickford, Chow, Timber, Anderson, Saka, Foden, Wirtz, Wilson, Haaland, Thiago, Rao. Okay to roll. Okay to roll. It's a great team. Like, you've got to think you're on for a green arrow this week, Reese, with a team like that. Yeah, definitely okay to roll. O'Reilly to Nunes or play Anderson? I'd just play Anderson. Bench order, Xhaka, Rodon, Tarkovsky. I would probably switch Tarkovsky and Rodon, and then I think you're spot on. Abby, thank you for the super chat. Says, hey Ross, got Verbruggen, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Anderson, Keane, Dorgu, Foden, Semenyo, Saka, Rogers, Wilson, Haaland, Thiago. 1 free transfer. Do I take a minus? I can't see the rest of your message, Abby, but if you go onto your super chat and reply to it, click on the comment so you don't have to send another one, because it's cut off some of your message. So go onto your thing and then click on the comment button and reply to the super chat so that I can see the rest of your message. The only team news that we have that we trust a reasonable amount is that Ekatike, Wirtz and Gakpo all start. We've not had anything super reliable in Manchester City. Ben, thank you for the super chat. Says, hello, Ross. Team is Van Dijk, Gabriel, Timber, Anderson, Rodon, great defense, Soboslai, Rogers, Semenyo, Cunha, Foden, Ekatike, Haaland, Guiu. 2 free transfers. Cunha to Rice and roll the other. Yeah, easy. Easy. Gabriel, Timber, Rice. You've got the best 3 Arsenal, probably. The rest of your team looks really strong. I have no issue with that. In fact, that's a great team, Ben. Start Anderson or Richards. That's super close. I would have comfortably said Richards before, but with the gay stuff now, maybe I would actually be tempted to go for Anderson. Tyler, I've got your team. Is there a question or are you just asking me to rate it? What do I think is wrong with the team? Nothing. I mean, guys, some of these teams, I'm assuming... I mean, this is going to be a massive compliment if you're not on wildcard, but is that a wildcard? I mean, the team is so decent. And maybe not with Gay in your team. This probably isn't a wild card. But the fact that I was unsure if it was a wild card or not, Tyler, I think you're good to go. I would probably leave it. I would be tempted to start Mukiele instead of Tarkovsky. I'd at least give it some consideration over the next 10 minutes. But yeah, nice team. Mike says, Barnes, Gordon, or Bruno G on a punt, mate. We're going to take a punt on one. I still think it's Bruno G for the minutes, for this the form and consistency. So you haven't replied to the super chat, Abby. So I'm just gonna discuss your team then, because I feel bad otherwise. So that's your team. You've got 1 free transfer. I'm assuming you're going to ask if you should take a -4 or make a transfer. What would I do with that team? I mean, I don't think you need a hit for sure if that was going to be the question. I think the only thing that I could see is maybe using a transfer on the defense. So selling one of O'Reilly or Keane or Dorgu. I wouldn't mind that. Maybe Keane or Dorgu to a Sunderland defender or something like that I could see being worth it. But otherwise, I think the rest of the team looks pretty good. Hi, Ross. Love from South Africa. Thank you very much. Best Cunha replacement for a 2-week punt before wildcard 24. Wirtz or Gakpo. I think you can take your pick out of the two of them. But I would go for Wirtz or Gakpo. Would you do Anderson to Rice or Enzo for a -4 in order to start one of them in midfield 5, but it means benching O'Reilly? Anderson to Rice for a -4 seems reasonable. It might not pay back this week, but he's just a better option. Get him in plays. I like Anderson to Rice. Wilson, Foden, Krupi Jr., bench 1. I'd bench Krupi Jr., Jish, personally. And again, thank you for the generosity. Does Watermarda start? I've got no idea, man. I'd love to give you the answer to that, Jacob. I don't know. I mean, my gut instinct tells me that Wiss has not been great. He's played a lot of minutes since coming back, so maybe. What do we think, Newcastle fans? Let us know in the chat if you think Watermarda will start. Hi, Ross. Good luck. Thank you very much, Thomas. Start 2 of Alderete, Anderson, Watermarda. Alderete and Watermarda, probably. Cunha/Saka to Verts Rice. Oh, yeah, that's tempting. Yeah, for free. As long as that's for free, Thomas, I would make those transfers. Bench 2 of Tarkovsky, Van der Ven, Rodon, Gabriel, O'Reilly. I would bench O'Reilly and Rodon. Start 3 of Timber, Gabriel, Heaven, Mateus Nunes, Mukiele. I would start Timber, Gabriel, and Mukiele. Any City team leaks? Surprisingly, no. I thought we'd get something, you know. We've got Liverpool leaks. Like, Lazy FPL was confirmed that Ekatike starts. Yeah, I'm not sure. FPL Citizen has leaks. Nope. Fake. He guesses. FPL Citizen just guesses, deletes the stuff that's wrong, keeps the stuff that's correct. And again, if he gets it correct today, still doesn't mean he knows. He's just making educated guesses. Adam, Raya, Roofs, Timber, Chow, Chalobah, Anderson, Gay, Rogers, Saka, Enzo, Gravenberch, Wilson, Haaland, Ekatike, Thiago. Is it worth a bench boost? And who to sell Gay for? 5.2 million. I wouldn't bench boost. Probably. Would I? Roofs? Do you know what? I actually think that is worth a bench boost. And so who would I sell Gay for? That's 5.2 million. That's a good fixture this week. Probably Richards. Gay to Richards and bench boost. I honestly think I would bench boost that, yeah. Cunha to Verts. Yes, I like it. Start 2 of Mukiele, Anderson, Tarkovsky. Oh, so close. I'd probably start Mukiele and Anderson, but that is very close. Foden on wildcard, book a transfer to Bruno after Wolves. I'm not sure now. I think I would just go for Wilson, Tavernier, Enzo, Rice, Rogers. I think they're all better long-term picks. Transfer Soboslai to Wilson. No, not this week. You've got just over 5 minutes until the deadline. So late today, any leaks? The only leaks we've had is that Verts, Rogers... No, not Rogers. Verts, Gakpo, and Ekatike all start. The Man United leak, I don't really trust, though. Because it's not really a leak. It was just someone said this could be a lineup, but it could also be wrong, which I just don't love. Gabriel captain locked. Respect. Good luck. I hope Gabriel hauls now that I've got him. Start Cherky or Mateus Nunes? Probably Mateus Nunes for now, unless we get a leak that Cherky starts. Is Cunha out as per the rumours? Again, it's one team, man. One lineup that one person's posted. Luckhurst didn't leak United. Do you know what? This is peeing me right off because we went through it. Either read his thing or don't read it. It's not a leak. It's like he's literally just said, it is unclear if this is accurate or deliberately incorrect. So he could literally post whatever he wants and then just say, could be correct. And he's covered his bases. And if it's wrong, he'll say, see, I did say it could be incorrect. Nonsense. Could be true, by the way, but I'm just saying I don't believe it. Cherky to Bruno, exact funds. Yeah, I don't mind it then. I don't mind it. Is there a reason you never mention Lewis Miley? Because he's playing right back. He's decent for DEFCON, got no attacking threat. I just don't think he's a great transfer in. He's fine if you own him and he's good cheap price, but he's just not exciting. And Livramento and Trippier are both better right backs in the long term. So once Livramento's back, I think he takes the minutes off Miley. Should I play Dorgo over Cunha and O'Reilly? Up to you how much you want to buy into the leak. I would still start Cunha ahead of both of them, but if you believe the leak to be true, then maybe. Start O'Reilly or bench him and start Rice. Oh, I would definitely start Rice ahead of O'Reilly, yeah. You've got just over 3 minutes till the deadline. Make sure you got your teams locked in. Make sure you got your benching decisions correct and all that stuff. I think I'm going to leave the team as it is. I've used 2 of my 3 free transfers. Ross, when are you planning on playing your chips? Wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain 36 is the plan. Don't buy Soboslai this week. He's likely to play right back now with Bradley out. Yeah, still on pens and set pieces. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend anyone buys Soboslai anyway. It's not a great transfer. Frimpong right back, surely. Could be Frimpong right wing with Soboslai right back. He's done that quite a few times with Sobos playing deeper than Frimpong. I don't know. Keen to Senesi for a -4 to play ahead of Anderson. No, definitely not. Just do Anderson. Bench Wilson or DCL? Oh, tough one. I'd want to start Wilson. Watermada will start or buy a Katike. I don't know if Watermada will start. If you've got one transfer and the money to buy a Katike, feel free to go for it. Trina says, hi Rapture, I'm back from the holidays. Big love. Going for a Katike captain, as I'm banking on United giving it their all in the derby with a new manager. Do you think we'll win, draw or lose? Thank you for the super chat. I've gone for a 2-1 loss, is my prediction at the moment. I don't think we'll get battered, but yeah. I think it'll be close, but I can't see us winning. I could see us maybe nicking a draw. You've got just over 1 minute till the deadline. Get your teams locked in, please. There have been no Man City lineups. No, apparently FPL Karim has a leak. Has he ever had team news before? I can't see anything from someone called FPL Karim, so no. You've got just under a minute. Sent you something, Ross. What a question. It's a bit late. Sorry, Will. Right, I think it's too late anyway. If we're going to get something now, we won't have the ability to implement the changes. So that is going to be the team. And that, in 10 seconds, is also going to be the deadline. Do stick around. I'll carry on streaming after the deadline. So don't leave even after the deadline. We'll carry on talking. We'll wait for the Man City and Man United lineups to see how true all of this is. And yeah, there we go. Done. Deadline. Let's hope Phil Foden does start, eh? All right, I'm just going to post my team and then we'll get to answering questions. I sent it to you on Discord, but too late now. Oh, I literally don't even have Discord on anything anymore. Sorry. Hopefully it wasn't anything crazy. No point asking questions now, guys. The deadline is done. Apparently, Doku's benched, Cherky and Foden start. That would be reasonable, yeah. I'm happy-ish with my team. You know? Don't think my team looks that bad. I've certainly seen teams that look better, by the way, you know, but... In the future, I'm planning on selling a Katike. Who would you recommend replacing him with? Krupi or Mane is my plan. Krupi or Mane. Van der Ven, 3 goals incoming. I actually do think Spurs will score from a corner. Why don't you have Discord? I just don't use it for anything. Don't need it for anything. The only thing I needed it for was my server, but I don't have that anymore, so... In fact, did I even delete the server? I don't even know if I deleted the server. I was supposed to delete it. I should probably... Have I deleted my server or is it still going? I was supposed to delete my server. I think I forgot. Let me know someone if they're in the server or not. Right, tweeted. Posted on Blue Sky. Garner with a laughing face. It's very weird seeing people say that Garner's like a really bad pick. I am intrigued. Garner's points are 4, 4, 5, 16, 4, 6. In those games, he's had 0.44 XGI, 0.81 XGI. It was deleted. Okay, that's good. That was the plan. I just didn't have the time and energy to run it, and I didn't want to let it just go crazy, especially when it had my name attached to it. I really think Garner's a good cheap pick. I don't get the disrespect. Sorry, guys, just going to post my team on Instagram as well. Just got to post your teams on the socials, you know? Why didn't you start Garner? Villa at Villa Park are very good. Enzo Lafie has a home fixture against a team that have just lost Gay, so I quite like Anderson. So I think next week against Leeds at home, I think I'll probably start Garner next week. But this season, yeah, I'm fine. What are your views on Dementia minutes going forward? I can't even think who Dementia is a typo for. What week are you planning on using your second wildcard? 32. Oh, big stretch. It's nice to just not have to, like, you know, slow down post deadline. Nice and slow. It's a crazy 2 hours. I don't know why I've developed a cold during the deadline stream as well. Just been sniffling the whole time. GeoGuessr until the lineups are released. Probably not. Could maybe do a little bit post lineups if people are on up for it. Will Palmer become an option or avoid? I can't see it. I can't see it. Yeah, we should meet with Manny, actually. That's a good shout. Let's do it. Let's do it. Put that there. My team's already looking absolutely stacked, to be fair, but we shall see. Right. If you do want to play club, by the way, no pressure if you don't want to, but there is a link down below. By the way, actually, it is worth you joining my league. If you play club and you've not joined my league, we're going to start doing prizes for the top 3 players in my league. So if you've not joined club already, there's a link in the description. So just click the link in the description. Please do download it via the link in the description, because it helps me doing it that way. And join my league. Trust me. Big stuff coming for the rest of the season as well. Lots of exciting projects that they're launching. Oh, Van der Ven might be an intro. I might loan Van der Ven. I'll have a look at my defense now. So this is my team. Do I want to loan Van der Ven? Probably don't need him, do I? I also slightly want to start Granit Xhaka ahead of Joe Linton. I might do that. I feel like you're losing interest in GeoGuessr. I did. Not at all. Not at all. It's just fitting it into my life, playing a lot. I love it when I do play. I just don't play it as much. Okay, so that's the team. Like I said, there's a link down below to download it. Let's meet with Manny. So, as always, probably my favourite part of the stream. Let's guess who we think Manny will get us. So all I need you to do is guess a Premier League player. Can be any Premier League player. Could be Haaland, could be anyone. Any Premier League player. When will club be available in Germany? Yeah, there's just a few countries where there's certain regulations or licensing stuff that they just have to go through a few more hurdles to get it launched. I think Belgium, Germany, there was a few, but it's very close to being there. Okay, I think I'm going to get Jeremy Pino is my guess. Rare? Can it be elite? Elite? Hello. Elite midfielder. Liverpool. Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz is a great player to get for this week. I'm absolutely signing Wirtz. And I have the salary to even just get Wirtz. Oh, that is brilliant. That is a stacked midfield for this week then. I think I'll actually do that, then that, like that. That is stacked. Florian Wirtz is... Oh, yeah. I've got Wirtz, Soboslai, Gravenberch. Very strong. I'll take that. Like I said, there is a link down below. Make sure you join my league. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. Would a new rule in which you couldn't captain the same player in consecutive weeks improve the game? I don't know. I guess it would at least mix it up a bit, and you'd have to time when you want to captain a player and not captain them the week before. So yeah, it could be interesting. Wingers count as forwards in clubs? Yeah, mostly. So like midfielders have to be proper midfielders or like attacking midfielders, you know? Yeah, most wingers are forwards, which is kind of nice. I wouldn't mind seeing that in FPL, to be honest. Focal said that Gravenberch is benched. Oh, was he? I didn't see that. Okay, I'll take Gravenberch out then. So we've got 5 minutes till the lineups. 5 minutes until we find out if the rumours of Acuna benching are correct. I'll tell you what I would say about my team. When I look around, my team is very different to everyone else's. I'm not seeing many people with like Sobersly, Laffy, Lewis Hall, Verbruggen, Garner. Like, it's a very unique team. Hello.
Hello.
You okay?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I only tweeted not long ago about the fact that I looked at like everyone's team, and everyone's team is actually really different.
But you'd say mine's the most different.
Huh?
Mine's the most different.
Yeah, not necessarily in a good way, but yeah.
Did you hear that, chat? I said my team's the most different, isn't it? And she said, yeah, but not necessarily in a good way.
Just kidding, your team looks great.
Oh, I hope I overtake you this week and you're crap Harry Wilson and crap Bruno G blank.
You're going to get demonetized.
Pickle's like, oh, how do I make decisions? Who got more points last week? Oh, this player got points this player did the points, therefore I will transfer in this player. As your decision making. No underlying stats. No, it's just, oh, this player did the points.
No, I got Bruno G and Wilson ages ago.
Sorry, one sec. I've got something. Oh, one sec. No. I've got your present. It's just. Oh, one sec. Oh, there you go. There's your present.
You're gonna get demonetized. Stop it.
Get out of here.
Behave yourself.
Get out of here.
All right, enjoy your fee points.
I'm really hungry.
Huh?
I'm really hungry.
Oh.
Do you have porridge?
No.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. Sorry about the domestic. These things happen. These things happen, you know? Can't help it. Right. FPL hangry, that's funny. I'm actually not that hungry. Like, I'm peckish, I would say. He's low-key more livid than he's letting on. That's bad, because I was letting on being pretty livid, you know? Spare bedroom for Raptor tonight. This is technically the spare bedroom, so I will just sleep in my office. I know a good divorce lawyer. Sad times. Sad times. Right. Man, sit there. Man, sit there. What a super Saturday we have on our hands. Is it crazy? Oh. We've got Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Brentford, Leeds, Fulham, Liverpool, Burnley, Sunderland, Palace, Spurs, West Ham, then Forest, Arsenal. Who's tomorrow then? Wolves, Newcastle, and Villa, Everton. So I only have one player. So wait, do 10 of my players play tonight then? Because on Monday... Oh no, I've got Verbruggen. So I've got Verbruggen on Monday. Hall on Sunday. So 9 of my players play today. The couch is actually very comfy. It is. Pickle has slept on the couch many times. Not because she hates me, I think. But it's honestly as comfy as a bed. You know? No Mateus Nunes. He's ill. Ooh. Well, if Cunha does start, he's going to feast then on that side, you know? Don't be mean to Pickle. I'm never mean to Pickle. Why don't you follow Man City? Why would I follow Man City? What about me looks like I want to follow Man City? You know? Come on, why is it not quarter past yet? Quarter past. Oh, big stretch. Oh, that was nice. I've got really bad tricep DOMs, I'll be honest, from yesterday. O'Reilly... Oh, my God. O'Reilly, Cherky bench. Nunes not in the squad. Oof, okay. O'Reilly... That's bad for people that kept O'Reilly. And Cherky benched. Nunes not in the squad. Semenyo and Foden start. Leak was correct. What, the Man United leak was it? I'm going to have a look now. That's crazy then. Wow. Wow, that leak was correct. I don't think it was, because Sesko's on the bench. Did it have Sesko on the bench? Oh, it literally is, yeah. Typo in your tweet. Oh, yeah. So what was wrong about the leak? Maguire, Dallo. I think the leak's spot on. Wow. Cunha and Sesko benched. Wow, interesting. That's crazy stuff. Right. What am I doing here? Come on now, Ross. Focus your attention. What are you trying to do? Oh, hello. Don't think that's what I want. So I'll do that for now. Okay, one sec. Let me sort this. I need to bookmarks, hide bookmarks bar. Then I need to go there, bring that across, bring that there, grab this. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Need to move over this way a bit. And then need to do that. And then if I click this, no, is that right? That's not right, is it? Or is it? No. Is that one right? Yeah, there we go. How's the GeoGuessr channel growth going? It's okay. Like, it could definitely be better. But the thing is, I just don't know like how fast you're expecting it to grow. It's not like a widely played game. I am new to it, but I really would appreciate if you're watching right now. Sit back and relax and see if you enjoy what I'm playing. And if you do, please subscribe to my new YouTube channel. Even if like 5 people subscribe, it really helps me out, you know? Right. I don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna play a bit of GeoGuessr, I guess. I mean, lovely to see a bit of language. We don't even need to move. We know this should be Poland, right? Is that Poland or is that going to be? I guess it could be another language. But that little strike through the L. We've already gone through team news, everyone. We're just going to kick back and play a bit of GeoGuessr. So if you are new to this, The idea behind this game is that you are essentially chucked in a random place in the world, and you have to guess where you are. So I would suggest that this is probably Poland, because we have language here. Look. Do we have anything else that could confirm Poland? You see this strike through the L? If I show you on the map, you see this strike through the L here? It's quite common in Poland. Which apparently, by the way, this is pronounced Łódź. I was calling it Lodz for like a couple of months, but apparently this is Łódź. Anyway, I don't know where this place would be. I'd assume that's not a big place. However, it doesn't look like it looks a little bit almost like coastal. I do wonder if it could be up here somewhere. It looks like a really coastal town. I mean, the only place it could be coastal... We could risk it. You know what I mean? It looks a bit seasidey. These buildings look seasidey. Oh. Damn. We're on the right stretch of road. what a start that is. Oh, it says Wybrzeże, which means coast. Ah, there you go. If you speak Polish, then that's fantastic. So we were 37 kilometers away. Anyway, that's the way the game's played, and I love it. So what was the actual town then? Ah, there it is. Yeah, if you zoom in, you find it. Okay. Cool. I've got a Brazilian pole. I mean, that could be the Chilean pole, actually, as well. Natural. So we're in Brazil. So this pole here is specific to Brazil. It's got the 3 ladder indentations, and then it's got these pinholes at the top. So these pinholes, coupled with these ladder indentations, you're in Brazil. Also, we can see here it says João, which is Portuguese, and Costa, more Portuguese than Spanish. What's this game called? It's called GeoGuessr. Again, I do have a channel where I play this all the time, so if you're thinking this is quite fun. Anyway, so this is Brazil. I mean, in terms of where in Brazil, I'm a little bit unsure, actually. I would say maybe more northern Brazil. Maybe not, though. Can you explain how you decode between northern and southern hemisphere by looking for the sun? So look for the sun, right? And you can see my compass at the top of the screen here. If the sun is in the south, you're in the northern hemisphere. If the sun is in the north, you're in the southern hemisphere. I will just say, if it's in the west or east like this, it's useless. And also, if the sun is just rising, which it is in some of the footage, or if it's setting, then it's also useless. You need the sun to be basically like during the day, and it needs to be very clearly north or south, otherwise I wouldn't trust it. So here you can see this is west, so it's not very helpful. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this should be Brazil. I don't know where. Okay, it was northern. I should have trusted my gut a bit more. It did look like northern Brazil. Are you playing a practice game? This is just like... Haha. I'm going to be able to 5k this one. This is Antofagasta. Now, you know I'm a nerd when I know where Antofagasta is, but Antofagasta's here in Chile. And we're on the number 5, right? Are we on the 5? I think we're on the 5. It's got to be this road here. Right? And there's a little off-road just there. Oh, could we be here? Is it possible that we're here? Mountains north? Ah, maybe it's not that. Chanaral. Where's Chanarao? Where is Chanarao on the map? Oh, Chanarao's here. So it could even be further south then. We've got a road that goes south-southwest coming off of it. I don't know where we are. Ah, could be that. Do you reckon we're here? I reckon we could be there. I'm trying to work out if that would work. Should we guess that? Guys, we're 180 meters away. Should have just guessed a little bit further forward. 5k. 5k, bitches. That's good. I think that's only my third ever. I think that's only my third ever 5k. I've definitely had a similar round in Antofagasta, but we're taking that. That part of Chile looks very distinctive anyway. I had a round the other day that I said looked like Antofagasta, and it was like here, but you sort of recognize that. Yeah, I know. I was just being a bit silly. Okay, so I think we're in Mexico here. This one's a little bit harder. So basically, there's a few things that would lean you Mexico here if you're a nerd. I think we're in Mexico. Can I confirm this somehow? So, two things. Firstly, you see this stop sign in the future. In the future? Not in the future. In the distance. It says Alto, A-L-T-O. So a little clue, I know a lot of people will know this, but this area of the world here, down to where it says Panama, Central Americas, and also obviously Mexico, they will say Alto, A-L-T-O, which is stop. Or Spanish for actually, I think, high? Not high. Can't remember what auto means. Anyway, that's what they'll use for a stop sign. South America will use pare. So we immediately know we're here. This is where you'd be with Alto, and then I think this is an octagonal pole, and octagonal poles are native to Mexico in that area, in that region of the world. So I think we're in Mexico. Now, where in Mexico is a bit interesting. I do see big mountains, so my concern here is, could this be Monterrey? Mountains are west. Could we be in Monterrey? It's certainly possible. Because in Mexico City, I mean, you would still see some mountains, wouldn't you? Where could we see mountains west in Mexico City? I mean, if we were like one of these towns here. I mean, does it matter that much? Not really. San Luis Potosi's not out of the question. I'm pretty sure this should be Mexico. I just don't know where. I might go Monterrey. No, I think... I'm going to go Mexico City. My second guess would be Monterrey. My third guess would be San Luis Potosi. Okay, it was closer to San Luis Potosi. Okay, that's fine. So we were looking at these mountains west. Not the best guess there. Still Mexico though, right? Dardin. Interesting bollards, actually. They're like a combination of bollards. See, they look a bit like the Italian bollard, but then not like the Italian bollard because they've got a square reflector. But you have these short... This has to be Italy because they've got short plates. This car, by the way, is either Europe or South Africa. So if you see this car with this blue tab here, you know you're in Europe or South Africa. We're in a mountainous area of Italy with these bollards and the short front plate. So mountainous area of Italy, of course, could be Italian Alps. Could be over in the west, just north of Florence. Could be like in this park region. Other areas it could be some of the central areas, a little bit here, get quite hilly and mountainous. And then you've got down by the south. Now this looks a bit Mediterranean. Does this not look a bit Mediterranean to you? I'm kind of semi-tempted to go down here. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it could even be down here. I wouldn't say it's impossible. Yeah, maybe it's odd. Maybe the reason that these bollards do look a bit unique, because this reflector looks like the Greek reflector almost. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Sardinia. Should I guess here? I think it's somewhere in that southern region. No, let's go for a guess. Let's say... I'm going to go here, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Sardinia. Oh, it was the Italian Alps. Damn, okay. I mean, it just didn't look like the Italian Alps, but that's fine. 20k. Someone asked what my level was, by the way. We are in Master 1. Master 1. But I've only played 4 games this week, and I'm currently on track for relegation, so I probably need to play a couple of more games. Oh. Can I just say Croatia was closer? You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Sim. Yeah. But like I say, if you do want to watch more of that content in the future, there is a whole channel dedicated to it. Right, guys, I think I'll leave it there because I'm starving hungry. We've got the lineups. Yeah, the lineups are out. Cherky and O'Reilly benched. Cunha benched. Sesko benched. Yeah. Pretty crazy lineups already. But I hope you have a fantastic game week. Hopefully we can get some green arrows. I'll be back on Sunday, tomorrow, for a transfer plans video. And I appreciate all of your support and love. Catch you soon, guys. Bye-bye.